That's 718-298-7800.
Neither team had a hit the rest of the way. There was only one base runner. That was when Pete Alonso walked in the 7th inning. Now, when the Mets and Brewers played last Friday night here, the Brewers won 8-4. Tonight will be a rematch of that pitching matchup between Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas. We know the pressure's on the Brewers now, with everybody probably available behind Montas. Sean Manaea just looking to replicate the Manaea who finished the second half of the season so strongly for the Mets, Keith.
Sean Manaea truly was spectacular. We find ourselves saying that about the guy who took the ball last night, Luis Severino. Really, starting pitching is the backbone of this Mets club. And Sean Manaea, though he's pitching Game 2 instead of Game 1, is the Mets ace. He has pitched to a 3.47 ERA this year. But really, if you look at Manaea, what has made him so different this year from his first 8 Major League seasons? His ability to just simply miss barrels. The league hitting just .202 against him, which is third best in the game, only behind Zach Wheeler and Dylan Cease in the National League. Pretty good for Sean Manaea, who lifetime over his first 8 seasons, the league is hitting about .240. It's a huge change, and that's because Sean Manaea did make a lot of changes to his arsenal. That's why the Mets went out and signed him. And it's not just what he did at the end of last year with his sweeper, it's what he did once he got signed and got into this rhythm with Jeremy Hefner and David Stearns, working on different things along the way to get better. Sweeper, like we said, terrific. Sinker's been great. The four-seam fastball has been incredible as well. And again, missing barrels. That's the key for Manaea. When he gets himself in trouble like he did on Friday here against Milwaukee, the walks. Missing not barrels, but the plate sometimes. That can get Sean Manaea in trouble. And in his postseason career, Manaea has had a lot of games he wants back. 3 games, 2 starts, ready for this. ERA of 15.26. So this one's going to mean a lot for him. He wants a good postseason start. Frankie Montas, by the way, was Sean Manaea's teammate in Oakland for 5 years. He was traded over a little bit before the deadline from Cincinnati to this Milwaukee crew that was hampered by injury. Mets just saw him on Friday. 30 starts this year between both the Reds and the Brewers. A 4.84 ERA for Montas, who has pitched 3 times in the playoffs to a 9.45 ERA. So both guys really want a good start tonight. We'll come back, take a look at starting lineups and first pitch right after this on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
hey Google, cool down my car.
And,
hey Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do so. Data rates may apply. Subject to third-party service availability. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Applies to 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa base models. Trim level described with higher MSRP. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP excludes $13.90 destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Hey Mets fans, Flagstar is bringing banking to the big leagues. Now we have even more accounts and services available, from simple savings to small business and commercial banking. Wherever you are on your financial journey, our talented bankers are here to help. And our technology is as helpful as our people. Stop by a branch or visit flagstar.com. Together, we can do great things. Flagstar Bank, let's align the stars. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come home to SNY.
Lot to get to here on our post-game show.
As our team covers your team with all the post-game reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run. Nissan post-game live tonight, immediately after the Mets Wild Card game. Only on SNY.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Throw in some music.
We can watch the game. Or we could keep it simple.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 Series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
Back in Milwaukee, Game 2 of this National League Wild Card. Mets won last night. They win tonight. They move on. They send the Brewers even further home to where they are now. But if they lose, they'll have to come back tomorrow for Game 3. Tonight's starting lineups are sponsored by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. For the Mets, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Jose Iglesias bats behind him, playing second base. Mark Vientos, big night last night. He hits third and plays third. Left fielder Brandon Nimmo is the Mets cleanup hitter. Pete Alonso bats fifth. He's at first base. J.D. Martinez, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Right fielder Starling Marte bats seventh. The former Brewer Tyrone Taylor bats eighth, playing center field. And the catcher Francisco Alvarez rounds out the lineup, batting ninth for the Mets. Sean Manaea on the mound. In the regular season, 32 starts, 12-6 with a 3.47 ERA. For Manaea, a career high in innings pitched. Struck out 184, second best mark over a full season he posted in year 9. One more time for the Mets, who finished 89-73 during the regular season. Lindor at short, Iglesias at second, Vientos at third, Nimmo in left, Alonso at first, Martinez the DH, Marte in right, Taylor in center, and Alvarez doing the catching. Now for the Brewers, National League Central champions, 93-69, a city that right now has towels waving. American Family Field on its feet, waving those yellow towels. They are desperate to win a game. They do not want an early exit again this year. Left fielder Jackson Churio, the 20-year-old, leads off, followed by Blake Perkins, the switch-hitting center fielder. Catcher William Contreras bats third. Cleanup hitter is the shortstop Willie Adames. Gary Sanchez is the 5-hitter as the designated hitter tonight. First baseman Rhys Hoskins bats sixth. Sal Frelick, he hits seventh and plays right field. Third baseman Joey Ortiz bats eighth. And the second baseman at 9-man, the speedster, kind of a double leadoff hitter in that 9 spot, Bryce Terang. Frankie Montas makes the start tonight. 31-year-old from the Dominican Republic, 7-11 this year, a 4.84 ERA. One more time for the Brew Crew. Churio in left, Perkins in center, Contreras the catcher, Adames at short, Sanchez the DH, Hoskins at first, Frelick in right, Ortiz at third, and Terang at second base. Again, the roof is closed today, and we saw that yesterday during batting practice, and it was loud in here. Certainly does a really loud, and that's what it was for the first four. City that needs to win tonight, and the Mets would love to just get in and get out and get on their way to Philadelphia. Brewers are wearing their home whites with a blue pinstripe. Brewers across the chest in navy, trimmed in gold. The Mets in their road grays, gray top, gray pants. New York written across the chest in blue, outlined in orange. When it's game time, it's Tully time. The first pitch is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew during tonight's game. Mets won last night. Tonight, Game 2 of the National League Wild Card. We are ready, and so is the Hall of Fame radio voice of the New York Mets, Howie Rose.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. And I'm going to be interested tonight in the Mets' energy level and whether or not there's maybe the slightest little drop-off from last night, because when you have the kind of emotional day that they did in Atlanta on Monday, you're riding high when you get to Milwaukee that night. You're really feeling like you're on a cloud the way that day went. And then you don't have any time really to savor it. You just get right back into things as they did yesterday. Very often after a day like that and a quick turnaround, it's that next day when you feel it a little bit. Now, I can't tell you that watching the players on the field taking BP or just being around them at all today is an indicator of anything like that. It's just kind of how the human body and mind tend to work. So it may take a little more discipline on their part, but you know what? You got a big crowd here. It doesn't look like a sellout. They all know how important the game is. You win tonight, you go to Philadelphia tomorrow and effectively have 2 days off. The travel day tomorrow and Friday. That's what's on the table tonight. Lindor is in the batter's box leading off, batting left-handed. Montas, the big right-hander, with a left leg kick. First pitch of the game. Fastball on the inside corner. A called strike, 0-1. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Lindor went 0 for 4 in last night's game. He's 4 for 12 lifetime against Montas. Works from the first base side of the rubber, and the 0-1 pitch is taken downstairs. Another fastball. Good hard sinker by Montas, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Now, this is Montas's home ballpark, but it has not gone well for him here as a member of the Brewers. The 1-1 on the way, taken outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Missed there with a split change. Remember, he came over mid-year from the Cincinnati Reds, and in this ballpark, in 6 games started, he's pitched to an earned run average of 5.72. The 2-1 fastball is outside, ball 3. He lost 2 of those starts. High ERA. He's given up 7 home runs here. And this is a Milwaukee team that generally has very strong pitching. They have the second lowest staff ERA in the entire league. But now the 3-1 to Lindor coming, and it's lined down the left field line, slicing foul, and off the netting right next to the tarp. And so a full count here to Francisco Lindor. Lindor drew a walk and scored last night despite the 0 for 4. And now the payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. He walked him. So Lindor is aboard, and that is not unusual. Season is aboard. Montas is generally a very slow worker, particularly with a runner on. Now, you can only be so slow, of course, with a pitch clock. He comes to the belt, and a quick throw to first, and Lindor dives back in. So he drew the first Mets walk of the game, brought to you by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. And he certainly has needed some orthopedic attention recently because of his back problems. And just now he went to smooth some of the dirt out on the base path from where he was measuring his lead and then diving back in. So, Iglesias the batter. And again, a long set. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss. A good hard sinker. And the count 0-1. That comes in at 95 miles an hour. Defensively, the Brewers have Hoskins at first, Terang at second, Adames at short, Ortiz at third, Churio, Perkins, Frelick left to right in the outfield, Contreras catching. The 0-1 is a fastball to the knees for a called strike. 0-2 to Iglesias, who went 1 for 5 last night. So technically, although it doesn't carry from regular season to postseason, he's hit in 23 consecutive games. 0-2, Lindor short lead at first. The pitch, fouled back to the screen. But for Iglesias, it was a long time between postseason games. In fact, exactly 4,000 days, going back to the 19th of October in 2013 when he was a member of the Detroit Tigers. 0-2 to Jose. Montas deals. Swinging a bouncing ball, shortstop Hall. Adames has it to second. 1, return to first. Safe. Iglesias beats it out. It was a bit of a low throw by Terang. Hoskins made the pick, but Iglesias, who is very hard to double up, not that he's the fastest guy in the world, but particularly as a right-handed batter, I don't know too many hitters, Keith, who get a better break out of the box than Jose Iglesias does.
He's just a great example, truly, it's cliche to say, for the kids out there. He just puts his head down and runs quickly, and that's it. He runs hard, and he gets there, and I think it surprises infielders more than anything. Not his speed, just the fact that he's always going 100%, which not all guys do.
Well, here's Vientos, who in his first postseason game last night went 2 for 4, an RBI single. Right-hand batter, first pitch, little bouncing ball, slowly hit to third. Ortiz charges, can't make the bare hand pickup, and everybody's safe. Lindor at second, Vientos at first with what I'm sure will be scored, an infield hit. And the Mets are open for business here in the first inning. First and second, one out, and Brandon Nimmo coming up.
Yeah, this gives the Mets the ability to have just guys on and put immediate pressure on Frankie Montas, who's getting the ground balls that he wants. He's a sinker baller. He cuts it, he sinks it for weak contact. But sometimes that weak contact is so weak, Brewers infield can't turn it into an out.
And you use the word pressure. This is a Milwaukee club that's feeling the pressure. They have to. They have lost, even though some of the faces have changed. 10 of recent dominance over the Mets. Mets put that to bed last night. Here's Linda. Drove in 90 runs this year with 23 home runs. He singled and scored in that big 5-run fifth last evening. 1-0 to the left-hand batter. Montas deals. Swinging a high fly ball, twisting foul down the left field line and out of play, so it's 1-1. The umpires brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Chris Siegel has the plate. Vic Carapaza at first. Alan Porter, the crew chief, at second. Mike Estabrook at third. Brennan Miller on the left field line. Alex Tosi on the right field line. 1-1 to Nimmo. Runners lead second and first. Montas deals. Swinging a bouncing ball wide of first. Base hit. Going into right field. Past the diving Hoskins. Here comes Lindor around third. He scores standing. The throw goes to third. Sliding in safely there is Vientos. And on at first with an RBI single, it's Brandon Nimmo. The Mets are leading 1-0 here in the first inning.
Montas getting exactly again what he wants, which is a ground ball. He chews up Nimmo down and in, and Brandon just pounds this thing into the ground, but somehow snuck it by Hoskins, diving to his right.
So Iglesias, not Lindor, the runner who came around to score. And Vientos at third, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Mets, and they look for more against an undoubtedly fragile Milwaukee club. Here's Alonso. Right-hand batter, and the first pitch taken down and in, ball one. Mets with the first run of the game, sponsored by Sloman's Home Security. Real security powered by real people. Sloman's, the difference is human.
And you could just feel this building quieting down very early in this first inning.
Infield back in double play depth. Now the pitch. That's over the inside corner, a called strike. 1-1 to Alonso, who was aboard 3 times yesterday, all via walks. He had one official at bat, grounded to third in the 4th inning. Terang at second, shading towards the bag. And now the 1-1. That's a called strike over the outside part of the plate at 96. And it's 1-2 on Alonso. A subpar walk year for Pete. 34 homers, 88 RBIs. Calls time here. But the way it works in the postseason, you can still make a lot of money off a great postseason. Ask Carlos Beltran and the almost unconscious postseason he had with the Houston Astros 20 years ago and parlayed that into a big contract with the Mets. And had quite a career with them, too. 1-2. Now the pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Diving stop. Adames flips the second one. Terang to first. Double play. Alonso jogging down the line. And I got to think something bothered him.
He slipped. He slipped coming out of the box, Howie.
And so the Brewers turn the double play and escape with the Mets having scored just 1 run on 2 hits. No errors. 1 left. Middle of the first. It's the Mets 1 and the Brewers coming up on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Headed to the baseball playoffs? Bring a friend free. Buy 1 round trip, get another free. Easy and affordable. NJ Transit is a home run. For details, visit njtransit.com/baseball.
Paramus Hum.
All backed by America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty with owner assurance. 4 is always less, so root for Paramus Hyundai, ParamusHyundai.com. Let's go New York.
103 millones de dólares. ¿Qué te parece? You know you ready to play. Sounds grande, grande.
Play the New York Lottery's new Grande Scratch-Off games with prizes up to $3 million or a second chance to win 1 of 100 VIP trips to Billboard Latin Music Week in Miami. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Do you need to upgrade your wardrobe this fall? Visit flagandanthem.com for premium quality clothes without the premium price tag. Super comfortable flannels, jeans, and quarter zips, even jackets and boots. Get 25% off your order with code METS24. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
While everyone is listening to the ball game, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative is hard at work rebuilding our infrastructure. Whether it's transportation, water, or energy projects, ELEC and the Operating Engineers 825 are ready to get to work building our bounce back. Last of the first inning in Milwaukee, Mets scored a run. Not only did Pete Alonso slip when he came out of the batter's box, grounding into the inning-ending double play, but as we looked at a replay, he actually tripped over his bat. So he ball to short, and then as he released the bat, started up the first base line, he tripped over it. Jackson Chourio leads off. Sean Manaea's first pitch is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike one call to the Brewers rookie left fielder who went 2 for 4 last night. So the Mets have given Manaea a run to work with. And the 0-1 breaking ball fouled back to the screen. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes as we come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Outfield pretty much straight up against the right-hand batter. The 0-2 is lifted in the air to right field and deep. Back goes Marte. This is on the way, and it's gone into the lower stands in right field. A home run for Jackson Chourio, and the Brewers have come right back to tie the game 1-1. Chourio hit 21 home runs during the regular season, and he strikes back instantly, reinvigorating this Milwaukee crowd, which had seen the Mets take the lead. And that double play hit into by Alonso looms even larger now, with the Mets having had an opportunity to get more than one.
You could see kind of the way that the first inning ended yesterday for Milwaukee against Severino, where Sal Frelick grounded out with the bases loaded. Brewers got 2, could have had more. Felt like that kind of inning.
Speedy center fielder Blake Perkins, a switch hitter, takes on the inside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Perkins did not play last night. He's batting .240 for the year. And right back with the 0-1. He hits one high in the air to shallow left. Lindor out. Nimmo in. It's Nimmo's ball, and Brandon makes the one-hand catch. So 1 out. William Contreras coming up. We'll look at the Mets' defensive alignment, sponsored by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experiencing orthopedic pain? Well, they've got specialists for that. Alonso at first. Iglesias at second. Lindor at short. Vientos at third. Nimmo, Taylor, Marte left to right in the outfield. Alvarez back behind the plate, catching Manaea. And now Contreras, right-hand batter, looks the first one right down the middle. A called strike, 94-mile-an-hour sinker, and it's 0-1 to the Milwaukee catcher. The 0-1 pitch, taken outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, as the sweeper lands in the dirt. Contreras, 23 homers, 92 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground up the middle, base hit, going into center field, hustling into the gap in left center. Taylor gets it in quickly, and Contreras backpedals to first with a 1-out single. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Willie Adames, and so Manaea, who was so sharp for so much of the second half of the year, shaky against the Brewers last time out, when he went just 3 2/3, giving up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Off to a rocky start tonight.
Yeah, so far, that's the way it looks right now for Manaea, who needs a ground ball here to try to get a double play, just like Frankie Montas did.
He can also get the strikeout. Adames, a very free swinger, but lots of power. First pitch, fastball in for a called strike. And the count 1-1. Willie Adames struck out 8th most of any National League hitter, 173 times. But he hit 32 homers, drove in a $112. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. As that time, Manaea came up, maybe at the top of the zone, maybe even a little bit above it. But the swing and the miss has him in front of free-swinging Willie Adames. 2 strikes with Gary Sanchez on deck. 1-1 last of the first. The 0-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called. He put a fastball at the top of the zone, but right down the middle, and Adames stared at it. Well, Adames, who chases so often, just looked at a fastball that's kind of tough pitch to look at with 2 strikes.
Maybe he just thought, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. He thought this thing was going to go up and miss high out of the zone if Manaea was trying to change eye levels, but Manaea wants that fastball up.
Well, Gary Sanchez, the batter, he's the designated hitter. Right-hand hitter with power. The first pitch, breaking ball in for a called strike, 0-1. First Mets strikeout of the game, sponsored by Berkeley College. Take a swing at your future with one of their certificate or degree programs. Learn more at berkeleycollege.edu. 1-1 game, 2 out, runner at first, bottom of the first. And Manaea with a long set here. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss by Sanchez. He'll do that. A fastball right down the middle, though. And the count 0-2. Sanchez, a lot of people will forget, was actually a Met last year for about 30 seconds. He did go 1 for 6 with them. 0-2 the count. Contreras short lead at first. The pitch, fastball in tight near his hands.
When he was on one trip, he was on the team plane. I kind of looked up from my laptop and I went, oh, that's Gary Sanchez on the team plane. Well, it didn't last very long, just 3 total games with the Mets last year.
So I take it you did not exchange phone numbers.
No.
1-2 the count. Manaea throws to first, and Contreras is back standing. If you don't know the backstory to the Milwaukee Brewers, they run just about all of them. I mean, even their catcher, the guy at first base, William Contreras, stole 9 bases this year. They're athletic. They have a lot of team speed. 1-2 the count. Now the pitch. And Sanchez takes high and away a fastball. I'm not sure Manaea was convinced of that as he started down the slope of the mound, angling towards the Mets dugout on the third base side, but it evens the count 2-2. Iglesias over by the second base bag. Viento's very deep at third. Lindor at the edge of the outfield grass at short. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a high pop foul. That'll reach the seats back behind home plate. Again, for the second straight night, the roof is closed here at American Family Field. It was cooler today than it was yesterday. These are hardy outdoor folk here who, if you poll them, probably would say, open that thing. 2-2 the count to Sanchez. Contreras a short lead, the pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Manaea going away with a changeup has run it full. And now Contreras, the runner at first, will have the automatic start. Alonso moves off the bag, lining up a bit in front of him. And now Manaea steps off.
Second disengagement.
Which is really almost immaterial because they know that Contreras is running here anyway on 3-2. But Manaea takes a deep breath. The payoff pitch to Sanchez. In there, strike 3, called, side, retired. He got him with a breaking ball, and that ends the first inning. But the Brewers tie it up, a run on 2 hits. They leave 1, and at the end of 1, Mets 1, Brewers 1 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Here comes the pitch. Foul ball.
For all your home improvement needs, windows, doors, siding, or roofing, visit unifiedwindows.com or call 888-631-2131.
There's nothing quite like the Honda Civic Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Hey, New York fans! Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in New York City's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a New York City area Verizon store.
Want to save money on your home heating oil this season? Call Sloman's at 866 Oil Deal. You can save hundreds. Just call 866 Oil Deal. That's 866 Oil Deal.
Here comes the pitch. Foul ball.
For all your home improvement needs, windows, doors, siding, or roofing, visit unifiedwindows.com or call 888-631-2131.
We go to the second inning here in Milwaukee with the Mets and the Brewers tied 1-1. Mets had 2 hits in the first, had first and third, 1 out. Alonso ended the half inning by hitting into a double play, and then the very first batter from Milwaukee, Jackson Chourio, went deep against Sean Manaea. So Frankie Montas back on level ground as he faces J.D. Martinez, the Mets' designated hitter, to begin this second inning. This one's a little bit of a hunch from Carlos Mendoza. Righty against righty. The first pitch on the way. Breaking ball over for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Good slider there. J.D. did have a hit last night, of course. A 2-run single. That was against a left-hander, and he has just crushed lefties in the playoffs. But Montas is a righty, and he's been very tough on righties. The 1-0, or at least the 0-1, fouled straight back to the screen. The count now 0-2. But, you know, Carlos keeps talking about, and this doesn't just pertain to J.D. Martinez, but he looks for convicted swings from his hitters. When they're in between, when there are check swings, when they're indecisive and take pitches they might normally go after, he says that's a sign that they're kind of betwixt and between. But he likes the way J.D. has been responding lately with the bat, so a little bit of a hunch here rather than Winker. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, that time, Montas blew 98 right down the middle past a historically good fastball hitter. So 1 away, and Montas has his first strikeout.
Yeah, J.D. Martinez, you look at the numbers against Montas, 2 for 10, Winker 2 for 8, so it's not really crazy either way. They liked Winker last night against Peralta, those one-on-one numbers, but like you said, this is just a Carlos Mendoza feel move.
Here's one that's somewhat similar. Starling Marte takes the fastball outside, ball 1. Marte, the right-hand batter, 5 out of 8 against Montas. And sometimes the managers will tell you, even though that's a small sample, that will kind of tip the scales if they're not sure. The 1-0, a check swing, but it's in for a called strike, a cutter away, and a count 1-1 to Starling Marte. Marte had a sacrifice fly in the second inning last night. And then Chourio robbed him of a home run in the 5th. The 1-1, way upstairs with a fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyrone Taylor is the on-deck hitter. Each team with a run on 2 hits as the Mets bat with 1 out, nobody on in the second. And Montas with a left leg kick deals 2-1. Marte takes low. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Remember, Montas walked Lindor to start the game. A guy who walks a lot of hitters, 4th most in the National League. Quite a bit of those with the Cincinnati Reds before he was dealt here. And now the 3-1 on the way. Swing and a roller to the right side. Hoskins way off the bag, has it, leads Montas to the bag, but Montas drops the ball. It rolls into foul territory over by the railing, but Marte's going to hold on at first as Montas picks the ball up, and that was the easiest of plays, or so it appeared. And, well, Montas was there in plenty of time, just watching Hoskins lead him. It looked like he led him perfectly. He did. Montas just flubbed the throw, and it's an error on Montas.
I was going to say, as I'm watching Montas race over there, I'm thinking, well, of course, he's going to try to get over there because Yoel Payamps did not get over there fast enough last night, and he was hustling. But then he drops the ball. And this is a team built on defense, bullpen, and speed. And if you can't check those boxes, I don't know how you win.
That is a great point, particularly going back to last night, because so much of the attention on the play you're referring to, what turned into the infield hit by Jose Iglesias, on which Tyrone Taylor scored from second base. Well, Taylor's batting here now with Marte at first, but Payamps immediately took the blame for that after the game. We talked about it on the air that it looked like he got a slow break. Well, here is Taylor now, and the first pitch in for a called strike, 0-1. It's amazing to see via things we read and hear from people we talked to in Milwaukee, and, of course, comments made by Mets people, how practically beloved Tyrone Taylor is. They loved him here with the Brewers. Pat Murphy was raving about him. The 0-1, little looper, shallow left center. That's going to drop. Base hit for Taylor. Marte's going to go to third. A flip into second. And on at first with a bloop single is Tyrone Taylor. And now the Mets with one out have runners at the corners. And Francisco Alvarez coming up.
I can see why it's easy for the Mets to love Tyrone Taylor. I mean, you want to talk about gut feel and who's in, who's out. Well, he's earned his spot over Harrison Bader these last few weeks just because he's getting things done. Putting the bat on the ball, hard, soft, this one little looper, and it falls in for him.
Now, of course, Alvarez is going to bat now. Hits a lot of balls on the ground. The Mets would not like to see another inning-ending double play. They'd like to see Alvarez flex some of that muscle, which has enormous power and produced 11 homers. First pitch, foul, back to the screen. 0-1 to Francisco, who went 0 for 4 last night. Dealing with what he calls minor back and hamstring injuries. Talk about a guy who doesn't seem outwardly to be in the slightest bit of awe in these surroundings. He's always got a bounce in his step and a smile. 0-1 the count. Now the pitch to him. Swinging a liner to left center field. That's a base hit. In to score is Marte. Taylor going to third. Alvarez's helmet went flying off as he rounded first, but he's aboard with an RBI single. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-1. And again, they have come right back answering an opposition's run.
I'll tell you what, the first pitch Alvarez swung at was a sinker so far inside it was a ball for sure. And then Montas throws him a sinker right down the middle. I don't really understand. You know the guy's overzealous. You know he wants to hit the ball 400 feet. Why would you give him a hittable pitch after he just expanded the zone? But the Mets will gladly take that.
Well, you can hear the contingent of Met fans that are in attendance. They're seated downstairs behind the third base dugout. Back to the top of the order for Lindor. And Montas deals, swinging a high fly ball, fairly deep left center, should score a run. Taylor tags at third. Churio makes the catch. Here comes Taylor. The throw goes to second. Holding at first is Alvarez. Sacrifice fly by Francisco Lindor. And the Mets have a 3-1 lead as they keep the heat on these fragile Milwaukee Brewers.
Tell you what, too, again, with the Marte error getting on base, we've heard it all year. Carlos Mendoza's mouth about, good teams take advantage immediately of free outs or free base runners, and the Brewers have handed the Mets one here and a couple runs.
So with 2 men away, now it's Iglesias who reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning. 3-1 New York. First pitch taken at the knees for a called strike, a cutter, and it's 0-1 to Jose Iglesias. I think these guys don't know what they've done over the course of their careers. I'll tell you about that and how it pertains to Iglesias after this 0-1. It's on the way, and it's taken low and outside 1-1. Last night after the game, somebody was talking to him about, what's gone on with him this year, and said, you're a 280 lifetime hitter. And Jose looked at him and said, with a little bit of a smirk, but in a friendly manner, 283.
These guys know.
Oh, do they ever. Here's the 1-1. Iglesias hits it on the ground the other way. Base hit past the diving Terang into right field. Stumbling around second, but digging for third. Alvarez slides in safely. Iglesias to second. He slides in safely. Hustle, hustle, hustle. And the Mets are adding bags. And so it's second and third, 2 out with Vientos coming up. And the Mets just keep their feet on the accelerator.
It's like they're wearing New York Brewer jerseys. They're running the bases the way Milwaukee does. Extra 90 feet here and there, and as Alvarez is chugging for third base, Iglesias rounds first, seeing the whole field, seeing the play develop at third, and he says, give me second base, and he comes in right behind Alvarez to now set up second and third.
And the Brewers, you would think, are going to have to get some action in that bullpen. It's a Johnny Holstaff night for them behind Montas. 3-1 Mets. They've got 2 in scoring position, 2 out for Vientos. First pitch to Mark. Fastball low and away, ball 1 with Brandon Nimmo on deck.
Brewers bullpen is getting up, some moving, some arm circles, some twisting. They're going to get somebody on a mound pretty soon.
Well, Vientos reached on an infield hit first time. If he can just sneak one through the infield here, that might be 2 more. The 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball to right. lot of hang time, moving towards the line. Frelick, he's under it, makes the one-hand catch. Side retired, but the Mets sent 7 men to the plate. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 left. And in the middle of the second inning, it's the Mets 3, the Brewers 1 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Looking for a replacement window? Find the Anderson 400 Series double hung window at Riverhead Building Supply.
The 400 series has a timeless style with modern design options to fit the look of your home.
Anderson brand products are the easiest to install, and Riverhead Building Supply makes it even easier.
We'll install your windows for you. Schedule measuring and replacement today.
Visit a Riverhead Building Supply location, call, or visit rbscorp.com.
Are you or a loved one living with Crohn's, colitis, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, or a chronic health condition that requires IV medication? Check out ThriveWell Infusion. Say hello to state-of-the-art private luxury suites. ThriveWell Infusion understands that it can be stressful when receiving an infusion, but it doesn't have to be. At ThriveWell, you'll be provided with exceptional care, comfort, compassion, and convenience. Visit us at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives, drip by drip.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Beach wows, mountain wows, and show-stopping wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
With over 30 stores to serve you, a rewards app that earns you free groceries, and a shop online service that delivers right to your door, what are you waiting for? Download the Food Bazaar Rewards app and get 10,000 bonus points after your first purchase. Visit foodbazaar.com.
The bottom of the second is the perfect time to brew up a cup of your favorite Bigelow tea and take a moment just for you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Listen to Meet at the Apple, the new Mets podcast. Join hosts Vito Calise and Jonathan Barron for exclusive access to the Mets, plus a weekly interview with manager Carlos Mendoza. Subscribe at all major podcast providers or the Mets YouTube channel. Well, it's the Mets 3 and the Brewers 1 now, as they gave Sean Manaea a 1-run lead in the first. Brewers got that run right back. Now Manaea's got a 2-run advantage, and he'll go after Rhys Hoskins, who hit a grand slam against Sean on Friday night in this building just last weekend. Right-hand batter, the first pitch, fastball over for a called strike right at the top of the zone. A cutter from Manaea, and it's 0-1. Hoskins hitless in 3 at-bats last night. Manaea with a right leg kick deals. Way inside, almost nicked him in the leg. And the count 1-1. Hoskins tends to get hit a lot, and he certainly did last night. That was with the bases loaded in the first inning when Severino plunked him to bring home a run. The 1-1 over the inside corner, a called strike. Good sinker. And now it's 1-2 to Hoskins with Frelick and Ortiz to follow. Mets have quieted the Brewer fans down again. 1-2, now the pitch. Way outside with a fastball, forcing Alvarez to lunge. And the count 2-2.
I'm giggling because, again, at this point of the year, we've already heard Alvarez's back hurts, his hamstring hurts, and there he goes flying to his right just to rescue that pitch.
It's after running the bases hard. The 2-2 on the way, hit on the ground foul over by the third baseline. Well, a couple of games to talk to you about apart from this one. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Contact One for a great deal today. A couple of series ended today, somewhat surprisingly. 2-2 on the way. Hoskins hits it high in the air to left center. It's not deep. Angling in is Nimmo. He's under it. Makes the one-hand catch. 1 man out. How about those Detroit Tigers? They went into Houston and swept 2 from the Astros. The Tigers won it 5-2 today. Scored 4 times in the 8th inning. Andy Ibanez has a pinch hit double, if I'm not mistaken. A pinch hit 3-run double. The big hit for the Tigers, who move on. First pitch on the way now to Sal Frelick is in for a called strike. 0-1. And Kansas City defeated Baltimore 2-1. The Orioles are done. The 0-1, a little chopper, and that's foul. It ricocheted towards the plate. Alvarez picked it up, hoping he might get some help from home plate ump Chris Siegel. He did not. But quickly, it's 0-2 to Frelick. Bobby Witt Jr., is there a better all-around player in the game right now? I mean, he's got to be in that top 2 or 3, right? Go-ahead RBI single in the 6th. The 0-2 hit foul, third base side out of play. He drove in the only run yesterday with a 6th-inning base hit for the Royals. So the Royals won that series 2-0, outscoring Baltimore in the 2 games total 3-1. The 0-2 in tight with a fastball, almost hit Frelick. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So now you have Detroit starting in Cleveland, and the Yankees will see the Royals. I'm sure the Yankees were thrilled that Houston got eliminated, but I wouldn't want to see Kansas City right now.
I know Jake Eisenberg does. He gets to come home for a while. 1-2 to Frelick. Time call to the plate. Jake, if you don't know, was a broadcaster for us on, let's just say, on call. He had some work with us a couple of years ago. They were so impressed in Kansas City, they gave him their radio job. 1-2 on the way is a fastball just outside, 2-2. So Mr. Eisenberg of the Port Washington Eisenbergs will be calling some playoff games at Yankee Stadium. 2-2 to Frelick. Fastball outside, 3-2. Wouldn't the Mets love to play some postseason games at Yankee Stadium?
Boy. I'm sure after the regular season they had against them, they wouldn't mind it at all. 4-0.
Yeah. So here's the payoff pitch to Frelick. Swinging a bouncer past the mound, up the middle. Lindor fields it, spins, throws, out at first base. Well, if Sal Frelick had not injured his hip over the weekend when he ran into the sidewall against the Mets, maybe he beats that out. He was still going down the line pretty well, but Francisco Lindor, ranging far to his left, wound up going on the other side of second base, turned and fired to first, and in the thinnest of margins was able to get Frelick for the second out.
I think he heard you talking about how good Bobby Witt Jr. is at shortstop. That was unbelievable. His momentum took him into right field when he was done. Started at shortstop.
He has been some inspiration to his teammates and Mets fans. Here's Joey Ortiz. First ball swinging, hits it in the air to right. As Fran Healy would say, can of corn, brother. Marte makes the catch, and that retires the side. Nothing across at the end of 2. The Mets 3, the Brewers 1 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low-price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for Mets Radio listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil or service? Call the Home Heating Oil line now to see how much you can save off your home heating costs. Don't wait. There is no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Pat McCarthy here, and I'd like to tell you about my alma mater, the College of New Jersey. At TCNJ, you get the best of both worlds. A top-notch education at a public college price point. TCNJ's faculty are partners in their students' success with courses that are more immersive and that offer transformational learning experiences along the way. That's higher education elevated. Come see for yourself what makes TCNJ so special. Learn more and register for an open house at tcnj.edu.
What have we learned from baseball? Nothing ever goes according to plan. Accidents happen when you least expect them. If you've been injured, visit the Rothenberg Law Firm at injurylawyer.com.
Well, we go to the third inning here in Milwaukee, Game 3 of our National League Wild Card Series, with the Mets looking to close out the Brewers, just as the Tigers and Royals closed out their opponents today. And yeah, the Milwaukee Brewers, Keith, were a first-place club in the Central. You know, they only won 4 more games than the Mets. The Mets won 89 ball games, the Brewers 93. But the Brewers look mighty fragile right about now. The Mets have kept the pressure on through these first 2 innings. They'll try to continue that here in the third.
Scored a run in the first, 2 in the second. Here they are in the third against Frankie Montas, who does stay on. 36 pitches, a lot of traffic First one to Nimmo is a little bit low. Check swing. He did not go in the count of ball and no strikes. So it'll be 4, 5, and 6. The heart of the Mets lineup, powered by 10-to-1 Rum. Elevate your game day experience with 10-to-1 Rum's lineup of Mets-inspired cocktails. 10-to-1 Rum, Rum reimagined. There's a windup in the 1-0. Nimmo swings through a 96-mile-an-hour sinker down in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. So pretty unique, right, that last night Pat Murphy goes to his bullpen rather early, but decides to keep Montas in pretty early, even though Montas has given up 3 runs on 5 hits. The 1-1 missed outside, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Nimmo. Joe Ross is getting up, a righty in that bullpen. Mets saw Ross over the weekend, regular season Friday, Saturday, Sunday series, where the Brewers won 2 out of 3. The 2-1, Nimmo stares at a strike on the outside corner, a cutter that just nicked the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nimmo, an RBI singleist last time, drove in the first Mets run tonight. 3-1 New York, the lead in Milwaukee. Slow wind up, now the 2-2. Fouled off at home plate. Again, that series over the weekend here was kind of different than what this is right now. The Mets were desperate to get a couple wins. The pressure was on them. Milwaukee was playing free and easy, and you could tell. And right now, pressure's on Milwaukee. They are not playing free and easy. 2-2 to Nimmo. Fouled straight back. He's right on 97. And it stays 2-2. The Brewers in 2018 made it all the way to the National League Championship Series. In fact, Game 7 of that NLCS against the Dodgers. They were that close to getting to a World Series. Here comes the 2-2 to Nimmo. Just missed outside. Splitter, and he's worked it full. Well, since that NLCS, Brewers have made the postseason a lot. They are 1-10 in postseason play since that NLCS. 3-2. Nimmo tags the ball in the air to center. Perkins going back to the track at the wall, makes the catch right in front of the blue wall. Maybe a few steps to the right of the 400 mark, painted in yellow on that straightaway center field wall. So a deep drive, but an out for Brandon Nimmo. And here's Pete Alonso. We come to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. Mets ahead 3-1 against the Brewers, top 3. Alonso bouncing with double play his first time. Right-hand hitter. Montas steals. Swing and a miss. He had him fooled on a cutter. That count 0-1. And the Brewers, too, the way they have lost some of these series. I mean, last year they lost to the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks went all the way to the World Series. Of course, didn't win, but had a pretty good run in them. Did what the Mets did, or the Mets would like to try to do. 0-1 is grounded left side. Ortiz at third to his left, fields and fires across in time. Alonso down on a couple of groundouts tonight, 0 for 2. So this is the 10th time Milwaukee's in the playoffs. Mentioned the struggles that they've had, but one thing is really strange. Every team they've lost to has gone to the World Series and haven't won it every year, but they've been there. It's pretty crazy. And it was the Diamondbacks last year that, in the 3-6 matchup, beat these Brewers and lost to Texas in the World Series. Here's J.D. Martinez batting right-handed. First pitch swinging. Lost one in the air to left. Churio coming in and makes the hat-high catch to retire this side. The first easy inning for Frankie Montas. Middle of 3 at American Family Field in Milwaukee. Mets 3, Brewers 1 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
It's the perfect time to replace your boiler and water heater with a new Peerless Boiler and Pavilion Tankless Water Heater. Visit PeerlessBoilers.com for a dealer near you.
Come home to SNY.
Lot to get to here on our postgame show.
As our team covers your team with all the postgame reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run. Nissan postgame live tonight, immediately after the Mets Wild Card game. Only on SNY.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
Jelly Roll. The beautiful Beautifully Broken Tour. October 7th, UBS Arena. With Warren Zeiders and Alexandra Kay. Jelly Roll, live, on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit JellyRoll615.com.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Throw in some music.
We can watch the game. Or we could keep it simple.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
We go to the bottom of the third inning in Milwaukee. Mets lead the Brewers 3-1. Mets lead the series. It's best of 3, 1-0. So a win tonight for the Mets means they eliminate Milwaukee and move on to the divisional series against Philadelphia. Brewers win. They force a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. But as much as Milwaukee has tried to do something tonight, Mets have been able to set the table, set the tone, and when the Brewers strike, Mets have answered back. Here's Bryce Terang leading off against Manaea. First pitch misses outside with ball 1. Now, Terang is in the 9th spot, but he's basically a de facto second leadoff hitter. Speedster, corners in, 1-0. Swing and a foul in and out of the middle of the catcher. 1 ball and 1 strike. Terang yesterday, bad leadoff. He was 3 for 5. And a guy that you worry about when he gets on stealing bases, he stole 50 in the regular season. Well, Mets didn't have to worry about that because 2 of his 3 hits were doubles. So he's already at second base. Vientos and Alonso are still in. Here's the 1-1. Missed high and tight, a 93-mile-an-hour sinker. 2 balls and a strike. Terang and then Churio, who homered. And then Blake Perkins, 9-1-2 from Milwaukee. Deep breath from Manaea, the 2-1. Hit hard up the middle and a base hit going through the middle into center field. Taylor flips it back in, so Terang is on, a guy that is a nightmare to what the Brewers do well and what every team has to try to guard against, which is get on and put that running pressure on you.
And exacerbated by the fact that Sean Manaea allows so many stolen bases while he's on the mound. 7th most in the National League. 23 times the opposition has stolen when he's been on the mound, yet he's a left-handed pitcher.
Lefty facing the righty, Jackson Churio. 3-1 Mets, bottom 3. Throw to first. Terang back in standing. So that's a disengagement for Manaea. I was talking to Francisco Alvarez before the game. How to control the running game. What's the key? And he said a lot of times it's the pitcher's tempo and cadence. How high will Manaea lift the leg? Slide step. Pitch is high and tight. Ball 1.
And that's one of the reasons Buck Showalter was not crazy about the pitch clock when it came into existence last year, because he talked about rather often how hard it was for the pitchers to be able to change the tempo by doing just what you described.
The set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball to the outside corner. It's 1-1.
Right, he can only hold it for so long.
Right, and that's what you have first base coaches, like right now Quentin Berry is leaning over Terang's right shoulder, whispering in his ear, basically the time of Manaea holding the ball and delivering it to the plate. Runner at first, nobody out. The 1-1. Churio cuts it, misses on a nasty wiffle ball-like sweeper down and in. And it's 1-2. That finished behind him. That was some pitch. That's really been the pitch that's separated Sean Manaea from the rest, at least how the Mets viewed the free agent market last year. They love that pitch. The 1-2. Fought off foul to the right and out of play.
Almost separated Churio from his ankle.
Well, Churio had a big swing his first time up that tied the game. Went out to right field, right over Starling Marte's head. A solo shot. Right now, 3-1 Mets. Terang leads. Manaea turning his head side to side. Now time called by Churio. And again, that's a little part of the ability of changing the tempo and the cadence. Basically, if you do the same thing every time, Terang's going to read you like a book and steal second base. So Manaea just turning his head to the glove, to the runner, to the glove, to the runner. Something different. The 1-2. Down and in with a sweeper. Missed right over his shoe tops. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blake Perkins on deck. Manaea had 41 pitches. He's made the only mistake again tonight to Churio. Trying to put him away here on 2-2. Terang leads. Pitch. Tap foul behind home plate. stays 2-2. Now tonight's uniforms brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Real clothes for real life. flagandanthem.com. Brewers are wearing their white uniform with the navy pinstripe. Brewers written in navy across the chest, trimmed in that golden yellow. Mets in their road gray uniforms. The slow leg lift, 2-2. Dotted up inside corner, got him looking. What a pitch. 96 on the black. Churio turning to ask Chris Siegel, are you sure? That baby was there. Right on the inside edge, and he got him looking for his third strikeout. First out of the inning.
That front leg of Manaea's went up the way a roller coaster does when it begins its ascent up that very steep incline.
Here's Perkins, 3-1 Mets. Slide step, first pitch way up high. Great grab by Alvarez, extending the glove up to stop that one from going to the backstop and keep Turang at first base.
You could see all the different ways that Manaea is trying to mix things up just to at least slightly confuse Turang, who at one point will probably say, what the heck, and just go anyway.
Yeah, he has stayed at first base, hasn't bluffed, hasn't leaned, nothing. Vientos in at third, Alonso holding the runner on. Manaea holds the set, holding and holding, and now throws over. Turang back in easily. So first disengagement here. And I talked to, again, Alvarez about, do you remind Manaea during the game in between innings about tempo? He says, nope, that's almost first order of business when you sit down with Glenn Sherlock, catching coach. Manaea ready from the belt. The 1-0. Strike at the top of the zone. Fastball that pierced at 94. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, the starting pitcher, even though he will be probably one of the last guys to show up, once he gets here on start day, it's meetings and planning. 1-1, fouled back behind home plate, 1-2. And part of that meeting and planning is not just who's in the lineup, where are their hot and cold zones, but how to control the running game, which has been a bugaboo for the Mets. And the Brewers do it so well, which is why this can be a bad matchup for the Mets. Again, they won last night, out-slugging any chance of Milwaukee outrunning them. They won last night, the Mets did 8-4. Right here, runner at first, 1 out. 3-2 Mets in the bottom of the third. 1-2. Perkins, it's a ground ball up the middle. Lindor to his left, dives, glove flip to second, close, safe. Turang got in there feet first. The ball just slowly, in slow motion, went flipping from Lindor's glove to Iglesias at second base. Perkins is at first, 2 on and 1 out. And the Mets, despite taking a look, will not challenge. Oh, it took forever, it seemed, for that ball to get from Lindor. It actually bounced to get to Iglesias. That would have been beautiful, but Turang's just, again, too quick.
Can you imagine if Lindor was not playing with a bad bat?
Yeah. So here comes Milwaukee. Brewers are down 3-1. Everybody in this building on their feet. Yellow towels waving in circles over everybody's head. Mets looking for a double play ball. Contreras single to center his first time. Manaea fires. Outside corner, strike 1, he got ahead. 93-mile-an-hour sinker, sponsored by Spectrum. A connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. First time the Brewers have had multiple guys on in an inning. First and second, the 0-1. Breaking ball, strike 0-2. Slowed it down big time that time. 81-mile-an-hour sweeper. Willie Adames, good power, is on deck. Contreras also has a ton of power and a lot of playoff experience. Runners at first and second, bouncing. 0-2. Swing and a miss. High fastball, 2 down. Contreras, is he shouting at a home plate umpire, Chris Siegel? I don't know if he liked the previous strike calls. He's still saying something to Siegel as he goes back to the first base dugout. Let's pause 10 seconds, station ID.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
2 on, 2 out. Here's Willie Adames. Third inning, 3-1 Mets. Brewers threatening. Pitch. Up and in. He missed with ball 1. It did look like Contreras, as we got a chance to see the pitch sequence on replay, didn't love a couple of those outside corner pitches called strike. But Manaea threw him a pitch out of the zone. Contreras chased strike 3 anyway. Infield back around to the left. The 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow center. Taylor racing in, settles under it. He makes the catch. Inning over. Brewers get the tying runs on. Manaea into and out of trouble in the third. It stays the Mets 3. The Brewers 1 after 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
What have we learned from baseball? Nothing ever goes according to plan. Accidents happen when you least expect them. If you've been injured, visit the Rothenberg Law Firm at injurylawyer.com.
Rev up the fun with the Honda Civic and HR-V. These vehicles redefine the game when it comes to performance and style. With sporty designs matched by powerful performance, the Civic and HR-V deliver a driving experience like no other. But what really sets these cars apart from the crowd is the spirit of determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
How many times has this happened? You're ready to watch the game.
He's coming up to the mound.
You got those salty snacks. You're munching away, and then you have nothing to wash it down. Ready Refresh has you covered. As the playoffs heat up, stay hydrated with Ready Refresh. Bottled water, energy drinks, coffee, and iced tea delivered right to your door. Score more and skip the store. Ready Refresh ensures you're hydrated for every inning. Ready Refresh, your ultimate game day hydration partner. Order now at ReadyRefresh.com.
Are your tires ready for the harsh winter roads ahead? Then go to Town Fair Tire for the guaranteed lowest price on Michelin winter tires, offering shorter stopping distances on ice and snow, thanks to their exceptional grip, along with predictable handling in cold, dry, and wet wintry conditions. For the guaranteed lowest price on Michelin winter tires and the most free services for life, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Now we go to the fourth inning in Milwaukee. The Mets still leading the Brewers 3-1. We had a very frenetic scoring first inning and a half and a very quiet, but also pretty busy next inning and a half. Mets scored top one. Milwaukee answered in the bottom of the first. Mets scored two in the top of the second, and we've had nothing. Bottom two and through the third. So here we go to the fourth. Starling Marte leading off. Again, the Mets up by 2 against starter Frankie Montas. He's lasted into this fourth inning. First pitch. Marte swings and hits a looper to the right side, of base hit, going into right field between Hoskins and Terang. An inside-out swing by Marte, but he's on with a single. So Montas is at 47 pitches, but there has been a lot of traffic, a lot of base runners. And it really was almost surprising that third inning, after the Mets had done so much, Mets went down without a whimper, 1-2-3. But Marte has made sure to keep the pressure on, getting out ahead of Tyrone Taylor. Joey Ortiz is right near third base, a step off the line. First pitch, Marte goes, pitch taken for a strike. Contreras' throw down, the tag, out on a head-first dive. Marte cut down for now on the putout that goes 2-4. Carlos Mendoza looking behind him to John Gibbons on the phone. Will the Mets challenge? Still looking, and they will. So the Mets are going to decide to use their challenge here. It was a very close play to the naked eye. The throw looked good. But did Marte's hand get in there before the tag hit him in the back behind the belt? Very close. Call on the field again is out.
New York is challenging the out call at second base.
That is Alan Porter, the crew chief tonight in this six-man crew. Marte, pretty good jump. Pitch was taken for a strike, so it was right there over the plate for Contreras to receive it, cock the arm back, and fire down. High throw. Terang brought it down. It's very close, Howie.
I've watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I don't see where there's something conclusive. Marte seems to think so.
He's clapping and pointing toward the third base dugout.
Yeah, you know what? I think if that hand stayed on the bag and didn't come off, he might be safe.
Looks like he might have gotten that right hand in before the tag hit him in the back pocket.
Just saw a different angle, a little bit higher one than we'd seen, where it's easier to see the hand and the part of the leg or upper thigh area where he was tagged. And I think from the higher angle, it does a better job of selling the concept that he got in there.
Video board in center field here at American Family Field showed the close-up of the hand hitting the bag, but where the tag hits Marte, you have a tough time seeing it, and then you have the fielder Terang. His foot almost blocks the view of Marte's hand. To be honest, from my view, I think he's in there safe. Here we go.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. New York will retain both challengers.
So Marte, on further review, does steal second base. Pretty good throw by Contreras, good tag by Terang, but Marte able to sneak under it. Had that throw been maybe a little bit lower to the ground, Terang would have put it on Marte quicker. A little bit high, and so Marte, with nobody out, is in scoring position. Again, 0-1 on Taylor.
Nice work, Harrison Friedland.
That's one for Harrison. Marte bouncing. Montas fires. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fourth inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. 3-1 Mets, top 4. Terang keeping Marte very close at second. Adames is deep at short. 1-1. Stared at for a strike. 95 to the outside corner. 1-2 on Taylor. Last time up for Tyrone, little bloop hit into shallow left field. He got on and then came around to score on the Lindor sacrifice fly. That made it 3-1, and 3-1 it is right now. A look at second. The 1-2. Downstairs, missed with a sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Behind Taylor, the righty slugger, Francisco Alvarez. And then Francisco Lindor. Ortiz is right down that third base line, a step from the chalk. Adames pulled over toward the line at short. Terang up the middle. 2-2. In the dirt, stopped by Contreras, and it's full on Tyrone Taylor. And sometimes you see a lot of outfielders, if a righty is up, usually you'd think he'd pull it, but the outfielders have played the other way a lot of times. This time they actually played Taylor to pull. But Perkins in center is a couple of steps toward the left center field alley. Montas set belt high. A look at second. Now the payoff. Swing and a miss. Had him lunging out in front of a breaking ball. 1 away. So this brings up Francisco Alvarez. And wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com for your Mets postseason gear. Now here's Alvarez, an RBI single to center his first time. Chance to do the same thing right here with a runner at second. Pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Alvarez didn't like that. It was maybe a little bit outside, but Contreras framed it up well enough. And it's strike 1 on Alvarez. Marte, great speed at second base. And Alvarez calls for his time. Now, Marte really is a solid story, a veteran who has been around 13 years in the major leagues, 35 years old. But if you stood next to him, you think the guy was a walking statue. Starling is chiseled. Takes his lead at second base. Montas steals the 0-1. Alvarez fouls it back. What a violent swing on 96 right down the middle. I commented on that in the first at bat where Alvarez swung at a pitch out of his shoes inside, and then Montas threw him a cookie down the middle that he laid into center for a base hit. And he just did the same thing. Threw 96 right down the middle. 1 out, top 4. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Just missed low with 98. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trevor McGill, Tyler's brother, throwing in the Milwaukee bullpen, and he looks ready to go. 57 pitches for Montas, facing the last batter in the order. 1-2. Down low with the soft stuff. Alvarez spits on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it does make some sense, too, that Montas would be done after Alvarez because, again, Lindor, who's on deck, represents the 3rd time through. And it's already been a very happy first 2 times through for this Mets offense against Montas. Marte into his lead at second. Terang keeping him close. The 2-2 pitch fouled away to the right side of the netting behind home plate. It stays 2-2 on Alvarez, who does the patented tuck of the barrel of the bat under his right armpit. Backpedals a couple of steps. And as if they get the red sheet out, the Matador for the Bull. He charges back into that righty batter's box. 2-2 on Alvarez. Runner at second. 3-1 Mets in the fourth. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Brought him down to a knee with a splitter. Back-to-back strikeouts from Montas. And now decision time. Well, the decision made. Pat Murphy coming out, and he will go to Trevor McGill to get Lindor. We're in the top of the fourth inning at American Family Field. The Mets 3, the Brewers 1. Runner at second, 2 outs. And this pitching change is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win.
While everyone is listening to the ball game, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative is hard at work rebuilding our infrastructure. Whether it's transportation, water, or energy projects, ELEC and the Operating Engineers 825 are ready to get to work building our bounce back.
Labor's Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Labor's Local 731. Feel the power.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Top of the fourth inning continuing for the Mets, who have a runner at second base and 2 outs here in Milwaukee. Mets have a 3-1 lead over the Brewers, who just took out their starter Frankie Montas for right-handed flame-throwing reliever Trevor McGill, Tyler's older brother. And Trevor is also, just like Tyler, a giant. 6'8", 255 pounds. 30 years old, 2 years older than his brother, out of Long Beach, California. And what Trevor McGill does is throw really, really hard and then throw a curveball. So he throws about 100 and then has a knuckle curve. And he is their 8th inning guy. He can close. He has closed a lot for them this year, with Devin Williams, their true closer, out for a majority of the year with injury. But Pat Murphy is going to use his best guys tonight, facing elimination. Runner at second base, 2 outs, 3-1 Mets. Here's Lindor, switch hitter batting left. Trevor McGill set, high kick, pitch. Fouled back to the screen. He threw him 99. Fouled back for strike one.
Keith, the longest McGill has gone in a game this year has been an inning and 2/3. That was in April against the Cardinals. He threw 30 pitches. That's the most pitches he's thrown in any outing. I wonder if they'll push him a little harder than that tonight.
Marte at second, right side of the infield back. 0-1. There's that knuckle curve in the dirt. Lindor lays off. The ball skipped away a little bit from Contreras, but not far enough for Marte to move. And so it's 1-1 on Lindor, who tonight has walked and then driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. Mets scored a run in the first. Brewers answered right back to tie it. And then the Mets scored 2 in the second and have a 3-1 lead here, top 4. McGill set, 1-1 on Lindor. A look at second. Now an inside move and a look back to chase Marte to second base. No throw.
Marte's joking about it with Willie Adames, the shortstop. I think he's joking. I'm not sure Jesse Winker was last night.
Marte is always a bit of a jokester. The 1-1. Fouled back. Lindor just swatting it. Barely stepping. Just using his hands in his top half there. Just got a piece of 100 to the outside corner. And this right now, the move for Pat Murphy to really just relax everybody in Milwaukee. Lindor trying to drive in a run. Marte off second, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch. Missed up high with 101. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. There was a check swing appeal at third base. I think Mike Estabrook was smiling there. He said no swing for Lindor. Jose Iglesias on deck. Adames keeping Marte close. McGill's 2-2. In the dirt, knuckle curve, sliding stop by Contreras, moving to his right behind Lindor's feet. So now 3-2. The league hit just .209 when it made contact with the fastball. 167 batting average if you got a piece of the knuckle curve. McGill set. 3-2 pitch. Lindor pops it up, shallow left. Adames out. Churio comes in, loses his hat, but makes the two-hand catch. Side retired. Marte got to second base. He was there with nobody out, but the Mets do not drive him in. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning at American Family Field. The Mets up 3-1 on Milwaukee on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Mets fans, Jackpocket is giving new customers their first lottery ticket for free to celebrate October baseball. Simply download the Jackpocket app and use code NYM. That's code NYM on Jackpocket. Jackpocket is an official partner of the Mets. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 18 or older to play the lottery. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Enter promo code at checkout for $2 non-withdrawable credit. Terms jackpocket.com/TOS/free ticket promo.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Cork-popping wows, time to dine wows, Pine Barren wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Do you need to upgrade your wardrobe this fall? Visit flagandanthem.com for premium quality clothes without the premium price tag. Super comfortable flannels, jeans and quarter zips, even jackets and boots. Get 25% off your order with code METS24. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
1.3 millones de dólares. ¿Qué te parece? You know you're ready to play. Sounds grande, grande.
Play the New York Lottery's new Grande Scratch-Off games with prizes up to $3 million or a second chance to win 1 of 100 VIP trips to Billboard Latin Music Week in Miami. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The Ray Catena family of dealerships is the premier luxury automotive group in New Jersey and New York for one simple reason. They always put the customer first. With the finest inventory of luxury vehicles and legendary customer service, experience the Ray Catena way. Visit raycatena.com.
Now we go to the bottom of the fourth inning in this second game of the National League Wild Card. The Mets ahead in the series, 1-0, and they're ahead in game 2, 3-1. Sean Manaea back out for the fourth inning at 52 pitches. Dance had a trouble there in the third, the first real rally trouble that he's faced all night. Brewers got first and second but did not score. And so Gary Sanchez the first to greet him. First pitch, high and away with ball one. Gary Sanchez, then Rhys Hoskins, and then the lefty Sal Frelick, 5, 6, and 7 for the Brewers. A desperate team facing elimination. The windup, the 1-0. Hit hard on the ground to short. Lindor to his right. Fields belt high. Has plenty of time to throw low to first. Dug out by Alonso. One away. Reason there was plenty of time is because Gary Sanchez sometimes, as we used to say in the South Shore, running with a little bit of a piano on his back. So Lindor, even though that ball had eaten him up at his belt, backpedaled into shallow left, planted and threw the ball low to first. And it's an out for Manaea. And here's Rhys Hoskins. First pitch breaking ball, snaps in for a strike, 0-1. Mets baseball brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact a dealer for a great deal today or visit tryhondadealers.com. 0-1. Hoskins hits a little chopper toward third. Vientos charges, gloves, throws to first in time. 2 down. And a similar situation for the Mets left side of the infield. Hoskins is not a fast man either. And so the first one Lindor handled, he slowed down once he got the ball. This time, Vientos had to charge over, actually fielded the ball with 2 hands, which you don't see someone usually do with a fast runner. Vientos picks up the second out for Manaea. Vientos now moving in against the lefty Sal Frelick. First pitch, breaking ball, snaps in for a strike, 0-1. Bottom 4 in Milwaukee, Mets 3, Brewers 1. Frelick grounded out to short his first time on a dazzling play by Lindor. Next pitch, fouled back to the screen. High inside fastball, and it's 0-2. Atlanta is up on San Diego early in that game. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Braves. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Deep breath from Manaea. Now the 0-2. Hit hard up off the mound and into center field. A base hit. Frelick takes a turn, but Taylor fires it back in. Sal Frelick and his speed is on base with 2 outs. And you can play the new scratch-off games for your chance to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Should this game go to the Brewers and the series is extended to tomorrow, the game time for tomorrow is in flux, and it all depends on that Atlanta-San Diego game. So just an FYI, don't know yet. We'll get there when we get there. Right now, bottom 4, 3-1 Mets. And here's Ortiz. Pitch. Up high, miss with a 92-mile-an-hour sinker. Ball 1. That time Manaea used the slide step. Frelick is definitely a threat to run. Bone bruise and all. Stole 18 out of 21 in the regular season. Manaea's pitch. Missed inside, a sweeper. 2 balls and no strikes. Quentin Berry, the first base coach, who's so much taller than Sal Frelick, even with Frelick standing right on top of the first base bag, is whispering in his ear about Manaea's times to the plate. See if he goes at all. 2-0 on Ortiz. Manaea deals. Slash foul to the right. And it's 2-1. Bryce Terang, the lefty, is on deck. So speed on first. A little bit of speed, but contact bat here in Ortiz, and a lot of speed on deck in Bryce Terang. Manaea, a deep breath. Middle infielders are back. Vientos deep at third. A look at first. Now the 2-1. Ortiz pops in the air, right field line. Marte over, but it slices into the seats, foul. 2-2. So now Manaea a chance to put away Ortiz. Put up another 0 here in this bottom of the 4th. Manaea gave up a first-inning solo home run to Jackson Churio, which unfortunately has been a part of Manaea's playoff history. He's given a lot of home runs in his time pitching in the postseason. 2-2 coming. Fouled back. 94 that time up, and that was Manaea turning up the dial a little bit higher. Coming into tonight, Manaea has pitched in 3 postseason games. He's allowed 6 homers in 7 innings. There's a lot of poor pass he'd like to put away tonight. He and the Mets ahead 3-1, bottom of the 4th. 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul down the first base line, and it stays 2-2. 65 pitches from Manaea. Mets bullpen is quiet. We've already seen the Brewers go to their bullpen early in this one. Outfield around toward right by just a couple of steps. Taylor to the gap in right center. Runner at first, 2-2. Deep breath from Manaea. Now the pitch. Ortiz slams it deep but foul down the first base line. Ortiz did fly out to right his first time, playing in his first postseason. Came over from the Baltimore Orioles. He and pitcher D.L. Hall, who is available out of the Brewers bullpen. Sal Frelick at first, 2 outs. 3-1 Mets, bottom of the 4th. 2-2 on Ortiz. Pitch. In tight, 3-2.
Well, we know that Frelick will be running now with 2 outs, but Manaea has had Frelick angling back towards first base with his pitches, so he's not been able to get comfortable against Manaea, which saves the Mets potentially a step. But again, now on 3-2, they know he's going to be going.
The hitter, Joey Ortiz, took his time. His fans that surround him here in Milwaukee's home ballpark of American Family Field, chanting Joey, are on their feet, waving their towels, swirling them around high overhead. Mets have the lead here on the road, up 3-1, last of the 4th. Tying run at the plate. Frelick at first. He'll be moving on 3-2. There he goes. Payoff pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Lindor's got it. Sets. Slings. In time. Inning over. Manaea tosses up another 0. And the Mets take their 3-1 lead over Milwaukee to the 5th. On Odyssey Mets Radio. Driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
The Nissan Rogue with available Google built-in helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small stuff, like,
Hey Google, cool down my car.
Hey Google, turn on the dog feeder.
Or change up your adventure.
Hey Google, navigate me to the nearest music venue.
Handle your drive like a pro.
Experience the ultimate connection in the new 2024 Nissan Rogue. Now Nissan offers 6 vehicles with starting MSRP under $30,000. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Not equipped on all vehicles. Requires compatible device. Sequences shortened and simulated. Activation of Nissan Connect services package required. Only use features when safe and legal to do so. Data rates may apply. Subject to third-party service availability. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Applies to 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa base models. Trim level described with higher MSRP. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP excludes $13.90 destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Headed to the baseball playoffs? Bring a friend free. Buy one round trip, get another free. Easy and affordable. NJ Transit is a home run. For details, visit njtransit.com/baseball.
It ain't a party till the sauce gets involved. That's why Wendy's Saucy Nugs Party Pack is 45-ish nugs slathered in honey barbecue, garlic parm, buffalo, or ghost pepper. Savor the drip of Wendy's Saucy Nugs Party Pack, open till midnight or later. Participating locations only.
Now we go to the 5th inning in this potential clinching game for the Mets. They lead the Brewers 3-1. It's been a little bit of a choppy game, Howie, but Trevor McGill is trying to slow things down for the Brewers. Tyler, his brother, out there again here in the 5th.
You know what Trevor McGill is trying to do? It's something somewhat similar to what Sid Fernandez did to the Mets in Game 7 of the 1986 World Series against the Boston Red Sox. Just hold the opposition down until his team can think of something. Now, he probably won't get the amount of rope and the number of pitches and innings that Sid threw. I think he threw 2 2/3 or 3 and change or whatever it was in Game 7. Right here, he's facing 2, 3, and 4 in the Mets batting order after throwing just 6 pitches to get out of the 4th. And his first pitch to Iglesias is on the outside corner, a 100-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Iglesias bounced into a fielder's choice, scored on the first, then singled in the second. Righty against righty, the 0-1 pitch, check swing, but he went around at the pitch in the dirt. A curveball, that knuckle curve that he favors. And the count 0-2. This 5th inning is sponsored by ELEC 825, building our future. Mets have Iglesias, Vientos, and Nimmo due up, leading 3-1 in the 5th. Here's the 0-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 call for the fastball over the outside corner. Iglesias does not see it the same way as Chris Siegel, and that's the first out here in the 5th inning. It'll bring up Mark Vientos.
If he saw that pitch at all, that is a dart from Trevor McGill. Again, he's 6'8", so by the time he delivers the ball, it's way out in front of the mound. And you have to find it before it gets to the glove, if you can see it.
Iglesias thought maybe that ball was outside, but here's Vientos now, and he takes one that is decidedly outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Vientos 1 for 2, reached on an infield hit. You know what they call this kid? Swaggy. They call Mark Vientos Swaggy. They love the outfits he wears. The 1-0 swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's the knuckle curve, and it had Vientos so off balance that his momentum took him up the first baseline, and he's a right-handed batter. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike, but they were really giving him a little bit of the business when the bus pulled up to the loading dock in Atlanta before the doubleheader on Monday. 1-1, now the pitch. Breaking ball over a called strike, and it's 1-2. They wanted Vientos to be the first one off the bus. They had a camera crew waiting to show the Mets on their arrival. They liked the duds that Vientos was wearing. They said, you go first, you go first. Here's the 1-2. Vientos takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Some of the veterans were doing that, and I think that it's kind of one of the things that has allowed some of these young players to feel comfortable, is feeling like one of the guys, getting playfully ribbed for looking good.
But he's needed the counsel of some of those guys. 2-2 the count. The pitch, swinging a high fly foul, twisting down the right field line. That'll settle into the seats. You know, Vientos, once he started playing virtually every day in May, was in somewhat uncharted waters for him at the major league level. And as the grind continued and the Mets were on that long road trip in August, by the time they got to Denver, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza thought that Vientos was just kind of out of gas. Here's the 2-2. Check swing, breaking ball in the dirt. He went around, strike 3. Well, that knuckle curve victimizes Vientos. McGill is second strikeout. 2 out, nobody on. Brandon Nimmo, the batter. But it turns out that at that point in the year, when Vientos was at a bit of a crossroads, the council in particular of J.D. Martinez, who's known him because they're Floridians, and they've worked out together. There's a relationship there that even preceded J.D.'s coming to the Mets. But in particular, J.D. was really in Mark's ear about how to get through the grind of late season. Nimmo hits one in the air, foul down the left field line, out of play. The count 0-1. Another way to do it, of course, is with a big cup of Bigelow tea. And we're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. That's what you call a professional segue, son. 0-1 the count. Now the pitch, and Nimmo takes low. 1-1. You know, there are good friends, Cindy Bigelow and Tim Richmond, and, you know, you need a little extra caffeination.
They've been helpful these past 3 days. I can't even count that. I have no idea. All I know is caffeine now, please.
Yeah, well, I don't know that there's enough of it. I mean, they've got, my favorite is the English tea time. Well, my real favorite is the green tea. But sometimes you need the English tea time or English breakfast, either one. The 1-1 pitch is inside and nicks Nimmo in the elbow. So Brandon Nimmo hit by a pitch with 2 out, and it'll bring up Pete Alonso. Nimmo was hit 12 times during the regular season, 8th most in the National League, and now he becomes a 2-out base runner.
We'll see if maybe moving Trevor McGill to the full-on stretch, having to worry about a runner, can open up a little bit of mislocation. And if you miss with 100, Pete Alonso's a guy that can turn around some heavy velocity.
Well, you know what Nimmo did this year? He stole some bases, which he hadn't done much the last few years. First pitch to Alonso, foul back to the screen, a fastball at 99, 0-1. Brandon Nimmo stole 15 bases during the season and was not caught, not once. And the only other Met to have as many or more stolen bases without being caught in a season, Kevin McReynolds in 1988. 3-1 Mets, 2 out, top 5, Nimmo at first. McGill's 0-1 to Alonso. Upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike, missing at 99. Joe McIlvaine, first as the Mets scouting director, then their general manager, once told me that Kevin McReynolds was the best amateur player that he'd ever scouted. That's how badly he wanted him for the Mets. 1-1 the count, now the pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. And Alonso behind in the count, 1-2.
No secret why Pat Murphy's trying to go with some of his best arms right here. A little bit of a statement inning in the third for McGill against this Mets offense that's been pulled in the last day and a half.
Alonso 0 for 2, grounded into a double play, and we're going to get a balk on McGill. McGill has balked. And Nimmo goes down to second. We'll take a look at exactly what he did, but Brandon Nimmo now in scoring position with 2 out and a 1-2 count to Alonso.
Yeah, Chris Siegel, the home plate umpire, was all over this. McGill had his foot on the rubber and double flinched.
Yep. Started to bring the hands together, then separated them, and they caught it.
Pretty easy one right there, but a mistake because now Alonso, again, talk about turning around velocity, hit one out, that would be nice. But a little blooper, when you face 100 and you put the bat on the ball, sometimes it'll find a hole or drop into the grass. Nimmo now in scoring position with 2 outs would be moving on contact.
J.D. Martinez on deck, 1-2 to Alonso. RBI chance here for Pete. Nimmo, not too big a lead. McGill sets of the letters. The 1-2 pitch. Swung and missed, strike 3. Got him with that knuckle curve. And that retires the side. 3 strikeouts in the inning for McGill. Is he playing the latter-day role of Sid Fernandez? We'll find out. No runs, no hits. Hit batsman 1 left. Middle of the 5th. It's the Mets 3, the Brewers 1 on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers. If you heat your home with oil, you must hear this message. Low-price home heating oil is now available to all our Mets Radio listeners at a fixed price that can save you hundreds of dollars a year on your home heating bill. If you think you're paying too much to heat your home, then pick up your phone. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL right now to see how much you can save on heating oil. The Home Heating Oil Service Center is staffed 24/7, and mechanics are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure your family is never left in the cold. Just dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL. The heating oil line is now open for METS radio listeners. Think you're paying too much for your home heating oil or service? Call the Home Heating Oil line now to see how much you can save off your home heating costs. Don't wait. There is no reason to pay too much for home heating oil. You can get the best service, 24-hour mechanics, and a low flat rate for this home heating season, guaranteed. So call now. Dial 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Paramus Hyundai knows that in playoff baseball, every hit, pitch, play, and save can make all the difference. Same with shopping for a new vehicle. Leave nothing to chance. Score huge savings at Paramus Hyundai. Don't miss amazing limited-time pricing on all your favorites, including the 2024 Hyundai Elantra, all backed by America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty with owner assurance. 4 is always less, so root for Paramus Hyundai, ParamusHyundai.com. Let's go, New York.
Bigelow Tea can make the second half of this game even better than the first. Hot or over ice, take a moment just for you. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Next time the Mets are home, hopefully next week, check out the famous Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey Bar in center field, where you can grab a game time mule, try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey and the Honey Surfer cocktail. Tullamore Dew, official Irish whiskey of the New York Mets. Please enjoy responsibly. They win this game, or for that matter tomorrow's, they'll be home at Citi Field next week with a stopover in Philadelphia, but they got to get to Philly first. Bryce Terang leads off. Sean Manaea throws him a breaking ball that's over for a called strike. 0-1. Mets 3, Brewers 1. Terang singled his first time. Left-hand batter, the lefty Manaea deals 0-1 and misses down and in. That evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike as he went same side changeup on Terang with Churio on deck and then Perkins. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Mets. Terang has called time here. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for Milwaukee. Remember, the Mets scored a run at the top of the first. The Brewers came right back on a Churio homer, and then the Mets answered again. The 1-1 on the outside corner. Perfect spot. Outside black at the knees with a changeup, and it's 1-2. That is one nasty pitch.
Perfect.
So 1-2. Here's the pitch. Tries it again, but it's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So clutch to get him right here. He gets on base. They flip the order over. That's trouble. Manaea has to get Terang here.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fought off the hands and fouled into the second deck behind third. Brewers fans desperately wanting to let loose. And at times they've been up waving their towels. And the Brewers had base runners, but largely, other than the first inning, Manaea set him down. 2-2 pitch, bounced inside the third base bag, a fair ball, going down the left field line. Karam's off the tarp, rolls away from Nimmo, who's got to chase it back, and Terang slams on the brakes around second, as with nobody out, he decides to play it smartly and safely, and he is at second with a leadoff double.
So what he does, this is an inside-out swing that just hugs the chalk down the line. It's a good pitch from Manaea, just a guy that wants to do that. Put the ball in play, let his speed do the work, and now he's at second base to lead off the inning for the top of the order.
Now, it's the second time he's led off the inning with a hit. He led off the third inning with a base hit. But Manaea then struck out Churio, and after Perkins reached on an infield hit, Manaea got the next 2 batters. Now he's got to tighten the belt again. Terang at second, no out. Churio homered in the first inning, then struck out. Right-hand batter, first pitch. Swinging a foul straight back upstairs behind home plate, 0-1. The 6th hit for Milwaukee. Manaea has thrown 75 pitches. You'd like to be done through 5 at 75. That would be the average pitch count at that point in the game. But there's nobody out in the 5th. And the 0-1 breaking ball hit on the ground to the right side. Runner will cross over. Iglesias, the second baseman, fields it. Throws out Churio. Terang goes to third. So 1 away. Mets, of course, will play the infield back, leading 3-1, and Blake Perkins, switch-hitting center fielder, will be next. Don't miss a moment at Citi Field in 2025. Get the best seats for the biggest games with a Mets season ticket membership. To learn more, visit Mets.com/memberships. And now the entire Mets infield is going to come together. Perkins, another guy who's fast, has a little bit of power. He did hit 6 home runs during the regular season. And maybe there's talk about the awareness of a potential squeeze here, although, you know, you've got a big RBI guy on deck and William Contreras. You want to be ready for every eventuality. And everybody on the infield knows what's coming, whether they huddle up at the mound or not. Because it's not just the pitcher and the catcher who wear that pitch count. The guys on the infield have it. They know what's coming. They know where they're supposed to be positioned. So let's see. They've got Vientos even with a bag and pretty close to the line at third. And Lindor and Iglesias up the middle are deep. Alonso even with a bag at first. So now Perkins batting right-handed. Manaea's first pitch. Taken high. 1 ball and no strikes, a fastball. Blake Perkins flied to left, reached on an infield hit. 240 hitter during the regular year. Missed a little time with a calf injury. 3-1 New York. Turang at first, 1 out in the 5th. 1-0 pitch. In tight, 2-0. Looking out to the Mets bullpen. Is that Reed Garrett that's up?
Yeah, Reed Garrett's picked up a ball.
So he is first up tonight in the Mets bullpen, and Carlos Mendoza can go a little early if he wants. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high pop foul, first base side. That'll carry out of play and lands in the second deck. The count 2-1. Remember, the Mets have their closer, Edwin Diaz, who may still need another day. Likely he would pitch. The 2-1 on the way. Fastball hit deep to left center. On the run is Taylor. He makes the catch. Tagging at third and heading in to score is Turang. A long sacrifice fly by Blake Perkins gives the Brewers a run and cuts the Mets lead to 3-2. But now 2 out, nobody on here in the 5th inning.
But even Sean Manaea, after giving up a run, turns and kind of gives a thank you point to Tyrone Taylor, because it was Tyrone Taylor that was part of this Milwaukee team the last few years, running down balls in the outfield. That was not an easy play. He ran a long way and made the catch look really easy.
So 2 out, nobody on. Contreras singled and struck out. 3-2 New York. First pitch, breaking ball, missed outside, ball 1. Contreras singled in the first, struck out in the third, and he was not happy with home plate ump Chris Siegel in that last plate appearance. The pitch, high and away, ball 2. Started to talk about Diaz. Remember, he threw 26 pitches here Sunday because he hadn't had any work in a week, and then threw 46 Monday. The 2-0 on the inside corner, a called strike. It's 2-1. And so yesterday he was down. Today, and this is way too early to consider bringing him into the game, he's just sitting with his hoodie on in the Mets bullpen. 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball, pulled foul off the netting near the tarp down the third base side. It's 2-2. I think the expectation is that they probably would use Diaz today. Probably not Maton, who's pitched 3 straight. 2-2 now the pitch. Breaking ball is low. A full count to Contreras. Should say he had pitched 3 straight days until last night. Last night it was Buto for 2 and Stanek for 1. 3-2 to Contreras. Now Manaea with a right leg kick deals. Swinging a ground ball up the middle to his left. Lindor bobbles the ball, picks it up, hurries his throw to first. Alonso digs it out, and Contreras is out. Way to stick with it, Lindor. Nice pick on the short hop by Alonso. Inning over. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left at the end of 5. Mets 3, Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets! Peerless Boilers wants to keep you in heat and hot water, so check out Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and Pavilion tankless water heaters, the world's best-built tankless water heaters. Learn about both at peerlessboilers.com, and remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best-built boiler.
Wendy's new saucy nugs are taking nugs to a whole new level. Choose from 7 different flavors. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
VIP stands for Very Important Person. That's how we value each one of our customers, patrons, and clients at VIP Honda. Honda's first all-electric vehicle, the Prologue, is now here. Hybrid technology is offered on the new 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid and Honda CR-V Hybrid. All new 2024 Honda models come with complimentary 24-month, 24,000-mile scheduled Honda maintenance, and we offer courtesy service loaner cars to each VIP. Search our inventory and see our offers on VIPHonda.com.
While everyone is listening to the ball game, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative is hard at work rebuilding our infrastructure. Whether it's transportation, water, or energy projects, ELEC and the Operating Engineers 825 are ready to get to work building our bounce back.
No one plans on heart problems, but everyone should have a plan for them. At RWJ Barnabas Health, we help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. With the latest technology and a highly specialized team of nurses, cardiologists, and surgeons, our network offers the most complete heart and vascular care in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbh.org/heart.
Well, the Brewers got within one in the fifth inning, but that was it. So on to the sixth. Now a one-run game. The Mets 3, Milwaukee 2. And big Yoel Payamps, who struggled out of the bullpen last night, but looked very strong in striking out the side in a game over the weekend against the Mets. Well, now it's Payamps, the right-hander, who's going to face J.D. Martinez, Starling Marte, Tyrone Taylor. And we'll see about Manaea. It looked as though he might have been congratulated as though he's done in the dugout. First pitch to Martinez, swung on and missed, 0-1. A breaking ball from Payamps. Let's have Garrett up again in the bullpen. I don't think he ever sat down. So it may well be that after 86 pitches in 5 innings, Manaea is done. The 0-1 to Martinez, pop foul, straight back out of play, 0-2. Mets with a one-run lead. 2 other games or series ended today. Detroit finished off Houston. Same for Kansas City against Milwaukee. San Diego might be doing the same. Here's the 0-2 to Martinez, fouled back to the screen. Update brought to you by Food Bazaar. Shop local, eat global with Food Bazaar Supermarket, foodbazaar.com. Braves scored first. Padres, though, have a 5-1 lead in the top of the third in San Diego. Guess who homered? And time is called just so we can tell you. Kyle Higashioka, are you ready? In unison. The home run stroker.
Again?
Yeah, he did.
Hit one last night.
He certainly did. The 0-2 to Martinez, breaking ball outside, 1-2. Manny Machado, a 2-run double. Jackson Merrill, a 2-run triple. As the Padres may be on the verge of sending the Braves right back to Atlanta. The 1-2 off the outside corner, ball 2, and not to play ball. Maybe golf.
It's kind of like the Home Alone 2 when they're in the hotel. We love you.
Did you really like Home Alone 2? 2-2 to Martinez. Breaking ball missed away. 3-2. A slider. Well, as you can tell, around 40,000 ballpark umpires. Murph used to call them grandstand umpires. Saw it differently than Chris Siegel. So the payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. And Payamps just kind of stares in, but he's walked Martinez to begin the 6th inning. And it'll bring up Starling Marte.
Payamps really struggled yesterday. And the first guy that met him was Starling Marte, who almost hit a home run, if not for Jackson Churio pulling it back. Well, here's Marte again.
Brewers bullpen has been such a strength of theirs all year. First pitch to Marte, hit towards third, foul. A bouncing ball that rolls down the line. And the count 0-1. Last night, they used Payamps for 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 2 hits and 3 runs, 2 earned. And then Aaron Ashby just imploded. The 0-1 pitch. Marte fouls it back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Ashby faced 5 batters. Single, intentional walk, another single, another walk, and he was gone. Here's the 0-2. Marte hits it foul off to the right and out of play. So Ashby didn't get a batter out, gave up 3 hits, and was charged with 2 runs. Nick Mears, a scoreless inning in a third. Aaron Savali, often a starting pitcher, gave them 3 scoreless innings to preserve the rest of the pen, but they're struggling out there tonight. The 0-2 roll to the right side, base hit right field. Martinez to second, he'll pull in there as the throw comes in from Frelick, and Marte with his second hit of the game. Ground ball single the other way, and with the Brewers having just scored a run, here are the Mets again looking to make them answer. And it may be, there's one more batter that Payamps has to face, that before this inning is over, they're going to see somebody else. They've got a lefty out there right now. This is the pitching coach, Chris Hook, who's on his way to the mound to buy some time for that lefty.
Jared Koenig is the lefty warming up in that Brewers bullpen. It is a bullpen that has, again, as you mentioned, Ashby and Koenig who's up there now, and DL Hall. Hall is more of a give you 2 or 3 bulk innings kind of guy, not a specialty guy. Now, Koenig is the guy that they would probably bring in to see a lefty, but Taylor, Alvarez, Lindor, Iglesias, the only lefty in the lineup tonight is Nimmo, and of course Lindor is the switch hitter.
So Taylor will be the batter. The injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. Nothing new on the Kodai single watch. But it was confirmed today that Paul Blackburn is down and done for the year.
Unfortunate. That was a scary, true life health emergency almost there for Blackburn.
Well, here's Tyrone Taylor, 1 for 2. First pitch on the way, hit high in the air to shallow center. Moving in Perkins with a right fielder, Frelick, and it's Frelick who makes the catch and flips it right into the shortstop Adames. 1 man out here in the 6th inning, and Francisco Alvarez will be next. Alvarez, an RBI single in the 2nd, and then struck out in the 4th. Remember, the Brewers tied the game in the 1st inning, and then the Mets put up 2 in the 2nd to take a 3-1 lead. It's now 3-2. Time called by Alvarez before the first pitch. That's interesting.
Right before Payamps lifted his leg, so he almost fired that pitch, but he had to stop himself mid-stretch.
Infield, back up the middle at double play depth. And the first pitch, check swing, roller back to the mound. The pitcher Payamps up with it, fires to first in time. 2 men away, and the runners move up. So as a check swing by Alvarez, cost the Mets an out, but it does put 2 in scoring position for Lindor. And if you're thinking they might want to walk Lindor, well, then you've got a guy who's hitting 23 straight games behind him, Jose Iglesias.
Uncle, don't do that.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a bad idea with a guy who just puts the ball in play.
So Lindor will have an opportunity to do a little more to enhance the legend that he has created for himself this last little while.
Oh, man, are they putting him on?
Evidently, yes.
Wow, they did this last night when they intentionally walked
look at this.
Alonso, but hold on, there's some confusion.
Pat Murphy is pointing, and I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe let's see. Murphy is trying to explain he doesn't want to walk Lindor, I think. I don't know where the call came from. He was pointing towards Contreras, and maybe there was a mix-up there.
Looks like Chris Siegel just wanted to know, do you want him on or not? And now the umpires are going to get together. Is there a situation where somebody says intentional walk and the umpires go okay, and then the manager says no? Can you bring that back? The umpire's going to get together on this, which is weird.
All 6 of them.
They either intentionally walked him or they didn't.
Well, it may well be that Contreras thought that, I think this might be about. By now Murphy says we're going to walk him. I mean, he could read his lips. They just showed a close-up. There might have been some problems with the communication between Contreras and Murphy, because remember, you also have that pitcher in the bullpen who's eligible to come in now, too, but they are apparently walking Lindor.
I do not get this move at all.
Well, here comes Candelita, and he will try to make Pat Murphy pay, just as he did for taking Peralta out last night. So, bases loaded, 2 out, 3-2 Mets. First pitch to Iglesias. In for a called strike at the knees, a sinker at 95, and it's 0-1. Iglesias bounced into a fielder's choice, singled, and struck out. Martinez at third, Marte at second, Lindor at first. The 0-1. breaks inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, the crowd not on the same page with Chris Siegel. Generally, Payamps has pretty good control. Walked the first batter in the inning before the intentional one. And the 1-1 swung out and missed. So a hard sinker again. And that's going to bring these Brewers fans to the feet, waving those yellow towels. They're hoping they're not waving white ones later tonight. 1-2. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a fastball. Iglesias looked a little uncomfortable as he finished his swing. But he's walking back to the dugout seemingly under no duress. And that retires the side. 1 hit, 3 left. The strategy paid off. And in the middle of the 6th inning, it's the Mets 3 and the Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
There's nothing quite like the Honda Civic Hybrid, Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid when it comes to exhilarating efficiency. With hybrid technology and thrilling capability, these vehicles deliver an electrifying performance on every drive. But what truly makes these hybrids special is the unwavering determination that inspires everything we do. Redefine your driving experience with Honda, KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
In 2024, you get more at Ramsey Mazda. More selection and more savings. Like a new 2024 Mazda CX-5, starting at just $29,276. Ramsey Mazda is the proud recipient of the 2023 President's Club Award and the 2024 Cars.com Consumer Satisfaction Award. Visit RamseyMazda.com. That's RamseyMazda.com. Get more in a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. So what are you waiting for? Wow your way through NJ. Through sculpture gardens, garden gardens, and loop-de-loops. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Peerless Boilers wants to keep you in heat and hot water, so check out Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and Pavilion tankless water heaters, the world's best-built tankless water heaters. Learn about both at peerlessboilers.com, and remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best-built boilers.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Mets 3, the Brewers 2. Sean Manaea is done. Right-hander Reed Garrett will come on to do the pitching for the Mets. And the Brewers got to Garrett on Saturday night in that final series of the regular season. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits and 4 runs, walked 2, struck out 2. So the Brewers at least have to feel that Garrett is a guy that they can handle here the way they did last weekend. Willie Adames first to face him, righty against righty. Split the big weapon. The first pitch is inside near the hands at 97, a sinker. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. It's Adames, Sanchez, and Hoskins due up here in the last of the 6th inning. That's 7 hits, the Brewers 6, 3-2 New York. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball foul right near the Mets dugout on the third base side. And a count 1-1. Garrett had an up and down year, but the ups were very good, and they lasted for a while until it seemed that he hit a wall. Got into 53 games. The 1-1, swing and a bouncer foul. That one off the screen next to the Mets dugout, and it's 1-2. What's the deal going in that direction? Was Winker sitting there? Sizzled one towards the Mets dugout there. And the count 1-2 to Willie Adames. Garrett brings the hands together. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a 1-hopper to second. Waist-high hop for Iglesias. Throws to first in time. 1 away. Wasn't the split, it was the sweeper. And Adames is down for the first out on the bottom of the 6th inning. Gary Sanchez coming up. Mets fans, when it comes to heating efficiency, Peerless Boilers and Pavilion tankless water heaters are in a league of their own. So go to peerlessboilers.com for more info. And remember, Peerless Boilers are the world's best built boilers. Sanchez 0 for 2. We know he's got big power. He strikes out a lot. First pitch, breaking ball in for a called strike. 0-1. A good sweeper there from Garrett. Overall, Garrett in 57 and a third innings struck out 83 batters. 0-1 the count. Vientos deep in near the line at third. The pitch on the outside corner. Perfect spot for a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And it is 0-2 to Sanchez. When he has caught, only Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals has hit more home runs since 2016 than Gary Sanchez, and only one more. Of course, Sanchez here is primarily a designated hitter now. Eric Haas, the backup catcher. 0-2 the count. Now the pitch. In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was the split. And he throws that split at 91 miles an hour.
Tries to fade it off that 99 at the knees he just pinned on Gary Sanchez. In the league, though, about Gary, they kind of figured out the split from time to time. The question is, can you recognize it?
1-2 the count. Garrett sets at the letters, now drops to the waist. And the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball up the middle. Lindor to his left, flags it down, diving, but has to eat it. He just gets up, no throw, and Sanchez is aboard with an infield hit. Lindor had to range far to his left and then angling back onto the outfield grass, and the Brewers are going to run for Sanchez here.
Here comes Garrett Mitchell, who's going to come into that DH spot for some speed. Sanchez, they just need him to get on, and then he does his job, and they need some speed on, because now Mitchell's the tying run.
And Rhys Hoskins, the batter, a guy who, well, it is not exactly Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman, certainly not any Atlanta Brave, but he is a serial Mets killer. And he's been involved in a lot of stuff, including earlier this year. Right-hand hitter. And a quick throw to first. Mitchell dives back in. Mitchell, the pinch runner here in the 6th inning. Hoskins has flied to left, grounded to third. Now Garrett comes set. Mitchell, not too big a lead. The pitch, Hoskins takes the strike on the inside corner. That 97-mile-an-hour sinker, and it's 0-1. One of the Mets that Hoskins was involved in a play at second base the first series of the year. Jeff McNeil out with a broken hand. McNeil at home in California awaiting the birth of a child. The 0-1 breaking ball is low. Hoskins laid off. He started those hands. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Brewers' first baseman. Missed all of last year when he ripped up his knee before the start of the season. 1-1 the count when that injury happened, and now
second disengagement. Garrett just stepped off.
Yep. We'll see if that stretches Mitchell's lead or perhaps has him going. 1-1 the count. He's running. The pitch taken for a strike. The throw by Alvarez on one hop. And out at second base. What a tag by Iglesias. It was a short hop throw. We had to wait for a moment. The second base up, Alan Porter, was a little slow to get the arm up. And the Brewers are not going to challenge, but what a tag by Iglesias.
Alvarez put that ball exactly where he wanted to. Right into Mitchell's path. Iglesias just grabbed it, and the glove leaned right into Mitchell's shoulder. That was probably the best Alvarez throw of the year.
A great throw in that short hop. Forced Iglesias to come up a little bit with that tag, and he got him on the arm. And so the pitch is swung on and missed by Hoskins, strike 3, and that retires the side. So the Mets shut the inning down there by throwing out an attempted base stealer. No runs, a hit, nobody left at the end of 6. It's the Mets 3 and the Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
When just one life is saved, it wins the game. Just like in baseball, when the same player has 3,000 hits, it's monumental. LifeVac, the original choking rescue device, is approaching 3,000 lives saved. Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, CEO and inventor of LifeVac. With its place, push, pull technology, LifeVac uses suction to clear the airway and save a life. There's only one proven airway clearance device, LifeVac. Mention code BASEBALL for 20% off your order today. Go to lifevac.net.
Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something far more complex, Total Ortho has locations throughout Long Island with diagnostic equipment on site. Now, Total Ortho Express offers convenient walk-in service with no appointment necessary. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com. That's TotalOrthoExpress.com, because time doesn't heal wounds, they do.
Want to save money on your home heating oil this season? Call Sloman's at 866 Oil Deal. You can save hundreds. Just call 866 Oil Deal. That's 866 Oil Deal.
Laborers Local 731 has been responsible for some of the biggest and most celebrated infrastructure projects in New York City, like the rebuild of the World Trade Center and the new LaGuardia Airport. Local 731 provides qualified and competent laborers to fill the demand that the construction industry not only requires but deserves. Its members and leadership have fought hard for wages and benefits that open the path to the middle class that every hardworking American deserves. Laborers Local 731. Feel the power.
Well, it was a heck of a throw by Alvarez, a heck of a tag by Iglesias, combining to make the textbook play of the game, brought to you by Malloy University. At Malloy, you'll think about your future in a new way. That was the second out in the bottom half of the sixth inning as Mitchell, the pinch runner, was thrown out. And on the next pitch, Rhys Hoskins struck out, so it's on to the seventh. Left-hander Jared Koenig, the lefty, out of the bullpen for the increasingly desperate Brewers, with the Mets leading 3-2. Keith.
Mark Vientos leads off. First pitch. Strike on the inside corner, right under Vientos' elbows. 0-1. Vientos, Nimmo, Alonso here, 3-4-5 against reliever number 3 for Pat Murphy and the Brewers. And time called at home plate. Mark Vientos got it in there as Koenig was coming set. Koenig, as a lefty, has held lefties to a 198 average. Righties 248, but he limits the damage. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss at 97 up and away, and it's 0-2. So they may grab a single or a double, maybe against Koenig. Tough to hit him for a home run or a lot of extra base hits. Infield plays straight up behind Vientos. Now the 0-2. Fouled in and out of the glove of the catcher and all the way behind home plate. Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets postgame show with Pat McCarthy. Verizon, the network New York City relies on. Top of the seventh, Mets ahead by a run on a night where they can clinch and move on to the division series with a win. Koenig twists and turns the 0-2. And it's hit up the middle, off the mound, towards short. Adames fields in the backhand, throws to first, dug out by Hoskins on the hop. I think that hit either the mound or Koenig's foot, but it took a ricochet, and Adames stayed with it, and he gets the first out by getting Vientos at first base. Now we're coming to you live from the Bigelow Tea broadcast booth. Bigelow Tea, grab a mug and tea proudly. So here's Brandon Nimmo batting left-handed, and this is kind of the idea for Pat Murphy trying to win this matchup if you're going to go with Koenig at all. It is the only lefty in the lineup outside of the switch hitter, Lindor. Nimmo today has reached 2 out of 3 times. Pitch up and in all the way to the backstop. Nimmo turns away and kind of shoots his head around toward that first row. His eyes probably getting wide there. That was up and in pretty hard there from the lefty, Jared Koenig. Second major league season for Koenig. It was in Oakland A 2 years ago. Deep breath, now the 1-0. Little ground ball to the left side. Ortiz fields, spins to his feet, throws out Nimmo. Wow, that is the Brewer defense we heard about. Joey Ortiz with a nifty play to his left on a weird ground ball, getting Nimmo 2 down.
Boy, the quickness, the way he was able to slide, spin, and throw accurately and get Nimmo by a couple of steps is very impressive, and that's the defender that will become the Brewers' shortstop next year in all likelihood when Adames leaves as a free agent.
1-run game, Mets ahead in the 7th. Here's Alonso. Pitch from Koenig. Swinging a broken bat. Flare, shallow right base hit along the first baseline. Frelick picks it up and fires in. Alonso with a 2-out hit. The barrel of the bat now being picked up right near the postseason logo up the third baseline in foul ground. Mike Sarbaugh grabs it and whips that sucker over to the bat boy. But Alonso gets his first hit of the night.
And the series. And here comes Pat Murphy again.
So Murphy, who has Joe Ross, the righty, up in the bullpen, is going to get Ross to face J.D. Martinez.
Or Jesse Winker, potentially.
Yeah, we'll see what the Mets do. Martinez now going back to the dugout, which could be to check the iPad or could be to put his bat away. Anyway, Mets ahead 3-2, 7th inning. Runner at first, 2 outs. Pitching change brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win.
Pat McCarthy here, and I'd like to tell you about my alma mater, the College of New Jersey. At TCNJ, you get the best of both worlds. A top-notch education at a public college price point. TCNJ's faculty are partners in their students' success with courses that are more immersive and that offer transformational learning experiences along the way. That's higher education elevated. Come see for yourself what makes TCNJ so special. Learn more and register for an open house at tcnj.edu.
In 2024, you get more at Ramsey Mazda. More selection and more savings. Like a new 2024 Mazda CX-5, starting at just $29,276. Ramsey Mazda is the proud recipient of the 2023 President's Club Award and the 2024 Cars.com Consumer Satisfaction Award. Visit RamseyMazda.com. That's RamseyMazda.com. Get more in a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Discover the legacy of luxury at Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura with over 35 years of excellence. Explore the latest lineup, the new 2025 Acura Integra MDX, the 2024 Acura RDX and TLX, and the new all-electric ZDX. You can also explore our diverse selection of high-quality used cars, meticulously inspected and ready to hit the road. Your next adventure starts here at Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura. Visit BridgewaterAcura.com to discover unparalleled sophistication and precision performance. Find us at 1231 US 22 in Bridgewater,
So Pat Murphy in the 7th inning goes to his bullpen with 2 outs to get righty Joe Ross. And the Mets, who have J.D. Martinez up, will not elect to bring out Jesse Winker. Again, this is the DH spot, and this is the spot that Carlos Mendoza can flex the righty Martinez or the lefty Jesse Winker. So Alonso is at first base. He had that bloop hit, again, against Jared Koenig. 2/3 of an inning. His line is still open. A lot of weak contact, but Alonso's weak contact fell in. Mets ahead 3-2, 7th inning. Martinez ready to face Ross in the first pitch. Strike on the outside corner, top of the zone at 96. 0-1. And yes, this is the Joe Ross from way back when. He's been hurt the last few years. Just 31 years old, pitching in the big leagues for the first time in years. This year with Milwaukee as a reclamation project. Here's the 0-1. Martinez stings one toward third, caught on a leap by Ortiz. Inning over. We saw Ortiz sliding to his left, getting dirty. This time leapt into the air to take one away from J.D. Martinez. Mets clinging to a 1-run lead in Milwaukee. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3-2 lead for the Mets on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
By now, you should know I can't get a game started without my mug of Bigelow tea. For me, it's Bigelow green tea that keeps my voice going. No matter how hectic your day gets, grab your favorite Bigelow tea and take a moment just for you. Bigelow tea, the official tea of Odyssey Mets Radio.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? Oof. We've got specialists for that. Coaching Little League leave you in big league pain? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has a specialized expertise, extensive training from the nation's best programs, and years of experience so you can feel better, faster. Long Island's premier orthopedic group with offices open 7 days a week. Orland & Cohen is now in Kew Gardens, too. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
If you think the baseball world is competitive, try the professional job market. But there is a way to give yourself an advantage.
Berkeley College. Whether you're just starting or looking to advance, Berkeley gives you maximum flexibility, close personal attention, and exceptional support through graduation and beyond, with tutoring, career services, and more to help you stand out. At Berkeley College, your potential is our promise. Learn more at berkeleycollege.edu.
Mets fans, Jackpocket is giving new customers their first lottery ticket for free to celebrate October baseball. Simply download the Jackpocket app and use code NYM. That's code NYM on Jackpocket. Jackpocket is an official partner of the Mets. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 18 or older to play the lottery. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Enter promo code at checkout for $2 non-withdrawable credit. Terms jackpocket.com/TOS/free ticket promo.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. Well, for the Mets, they have a 3-2 lead in Milwaukee. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning where they are rolling out the barrel here at American Family Field. This is a crowd that is potentially 9 outs away from going home again. This is the Milwaukee Brewers who won the National League Central by 10 games. They were the first team to clinch the playoffs this year, either league, American League or National League. But this crowd, this city, has showed up today, especially on a day where the Brewers lose and they're out, win and survive to tomorrow, are kind of sitting back saying, when is this going to happen? When are they going to come back and do something? So we mentioned, since their NLCS run in 2018, that Game 7 loss, if you include that game, all the playoffs that they have made over the last few years, they are 1-10. They have not won a playoff series since 2018. They made it in 19, 20, 21, 23, and went absolutely nowhere, even as a division winner. And so the Mets, who are trying to be the ones that once again wipe them off the map early, will send Ryan Stanek to the mound, bottom 7, ahead 3-2.
It's also a challenge for a small market team, maybe the smallest market, Milwaukee, Cincinnati. But it's a challenge for them because you can build a nice core, but if there's a big-time free agent that you think can be the one that puts you over the top, well, in a market like this, it's hard for them to afford that kind of a player. So it's frustrating when a lot of their better players reach eligibility for free agency, they leave. I mean, they'd like to keep Willie Adames, but he's going to be beyond their price range.
Sal Frelick, Joey Ortiz, Bryce Terang. Lefty, righty, lefty up. Frelick up, Vientos in. First pitch, Bonchon pulled back, taken high. Ball 1. So Frelick already a single in 2 trips. Going to try to lay one down to get on. Again, the Brewers are down 1. All they feel they need is one base runner to start running around the bases. 1-0. Bends in for a strike, 1-1. Last night, Ryan Stanek did what David Stern's dream would have been a vision, which is get the last 3 outs in a big playoff game. Stanek was traded from the Mariners to the Mets at the deadline. The 1-1. Frelick takes high. 2 balls and a strike.
Remember, the Mets need 9 outs here, and we're assuming that Diaz is available, but having pitched a lot recently.
2-1 on Frelick. Rest of the infield back. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 96 down. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vientos now with 2 strikes going to drift back to deep short.
Is that Maton throwing now? There's a righty in the Mets bullpen. You just can't tell unless they let us know.
Stanek has to see again at least 3. So he's going to see Frelick, Ortiz, and Terang. With the Mets up 3-2. The 2-2. Frelick hits a little chopper to second. Iglesias down to field. Flip quickly to first in time. 1 away.
That was a quick transfer.
Now Frelick can fly. Iglesias knew it and came in to grab it and fling it over to Alonso. And now Joey Ortiz.
You know, second basemen have smaller gloves, and that's really for the transfer and double play situations. That might have helped Iglesias there. I've never asked him if he uses a decidedly smaller glove at second base. A lot of second basemen do.
Ortiz, a right-hand hitter. Stanek fires home. And it's hit hard, but foul. Pulled down third. Count 0-1. Mets and Brewers traded a run in the first inning. Mets got on the board with an RBI single by Brandon Nimmo. Then Jackson Churio hit a solo homer off Manaea to tie the game. Mets added 2 in the second. 0-1. Swing and a miss at a splitter. Ortiz was caught in between, and it's 0-2. Mets went ahead 3-1. Brewers have held the Mets offense down since the second inning, scored in the bottom of the fifth, and that's where we are right now, a 3-2 Met lead. Stanek 0-2. Served in the air to right. Marte moving back, has a play, makes the catch, shy of the warning track on a low line drive. 2 down. Well, the only home run we've seen tonight was the Jackson Churio shot at the bottom of the first, and that's the Power Report, sponsored by Bill Vince's Bridgewater Acura on Route 22 in Bridgewater, New Jersey. Another lefty speedster who has given the Mets fits, Bryce Terang. He has singled and doubled and scored a run. Vientos is in at third, guarding the line. The rest of the infielders are back. Pitch, swing and a miss and a splitter away. Count 0-1. And Francisco Alvarez goes out to pick up the ball in front of home plate. Home plate umpire Chris Siegel dusts off the plate. Ryan Stanek against 2 lefties here. Usually you'd love a lefty in a spot like this, but his splitter is a pitch that usually, as they say, guards against lefties. It can neutralize lefties with its action down and away. 0-1. Strike on the outside corner. Dropped a high splitter, and it's 0-2. I don't think he meant to do that, but he did.
Only thrown 10 pitches. He's got 2 outs and 2 strikes.
Mets 3, Brewers 2, last of the 7th. Bases cleared, 2 outs. 0-2. Bouncing ball to third. Vientos waits, fields, flings to first, in time, inning over. Stanek gets Frelick, Ortiz, and Terang, and posts a 0 in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the 8th. Mets 3, Brewers 2 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
To SNY. A lot to get to here on our post-game show as our team covers your team with all the post-game reactions.
That is as playoff baseball as there is.
On the Mets playoff run. Nissan post-game live tonight, immediately after the Mets Wild Card game, only on SNY.
Michelin Winter Tires offer confidence in all types of winter conditions, and Town Fair Tire offers every long-lasting, fuel-efficient Michelin tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Michelin Winter Tires that keep you going for years to come. For the guaranteed best deal on Michelin tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Want to save money on your home heating oil this season? Call Sloman's at 866-OIL-DEAL. You can save hundreds. Just call 866-OIL-DEAL. That's 866-OIL-DEAL.
Craving a tasty burger? Well, Smash Burger has you covered, and Smash Burger's now open at 804 Lexington Avenue at 62nd Street. Enjoy certified Angus beef burgers, signature sides like smash fries, and hand-spun milkshakes. Smash Burger, available for dine-in, takeout, or delivery at smashburger.com.
You can count on our friends at Ridgewood Savings Bank to show you the community banking difference with cutting-edge conveniences and a century-long tradition of award-winning service. Ridgewood is a financial partner you can count on today, tomorrow, and all of the years to come. Whether you prefer to bank at your local neighborhood branch, from home, or on the go, they're always here to help you reach your goals. So let our friends at Ridgewood be the full-service banking partner you can count on to support you in your financial journey. Visit ridgewoodbank.com to find out more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As we get later and later into this one, the Mets have a 3-2 lead. Of course, would love to add on here late in the game where they can clinch. But as we get later and later, the Brewers are 6 outs away from getting eliminated. And Joe Ross going to stay on here, Howie, to face Marte to start the 8th.
And Ross desperately trying to keep this a one-run game. And the Mets have a decision to make about Ryan Stanek, who only needed 11 pitches to get through the bottom of the 7th inning. The Brewers will have the top of their order up in the bottom of this 8th inning as the Mets present the bottom of theirs against Ross. Beginning with Starling Marte, the first pitch, in for a called strike, 0-1. He started him with a slider. Marte, 2 out of 3, reached on an error and scored. Singled twice, stole a base. Taylor and Alvarez to follow. And now Ross to the belt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss as he went for a breaking ball away. The slider And it's 0-2. Right now, the Brewers are keeping the bullpen up. Their closer, Devin Williams, is throwing. Nothing to save him for. 0-2 the count. Now the pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Devin Williams had back problems earlier in the year. Missed a huge chunk of the season of the first half. So in that sense, he is not overworked. 1-2 the count. Now the pitch. Way upstairs, a fastball, 2-2. So if the Brewers use Williams tonight, he would certainly be available if the Brewers find their way to tomorrow. But it would be somewhat historic if they do, because it's been a long time since they've come back in a postseason game this late. I'll tell you specifically, after the 2-2 to Marte, that's high and tight, ball 3, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. They have played 20 straight postseason games, trailing going into the 7th inning, and not come back to win. 7th inning or later, down 3, or down a run, down anything, and they have not come back to win, trailing from the 7th on. 3-2, now the payoff pitch. Marte takes outside and high, ball 4. And the Mets looking for a little insurance. Get the leadoff man on, and that's the 4th time tonight Marte's been aboard.
And Marte can run. We saw him steal second base in the 4th inning, which put him in scoring position with nobody out. Who knows how aggressive the Mets get here. Again, a second run would be colossal this late in the game.
Rhys Hoskins and William Contreras, first baseman and catcher, and now third baseman Ortiz coming in to have a word here with Ross, who still needs to face one more batter before he's eligible to come out. While we have a moment, if you are celebrating the Jewish New Year, let me wish you a very happy 5785. So we're looking at the 85 Mets, huh? Wait till next year. Taylor has singled and scored, struck out, flied to right. Reminds me of one of the outside corner, strike 1. One night on the air, he said, and to those who are celebrating, have a very happy. Here's the and the count 0-2.
He'd be happy to know his Metropolitans have a 3-2. Lead.
Oh. for 3, a home run. Maton's first pitch, a breaking ball, and it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Maton has evolved into a pretty dependable late innings right-hander for the Mets. Had a lot of work recently. The 1-0 taken for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. When Phil Maton appeared in the first game of the doubleheader in Atlanta on Monday, it was the 3rd straight day in which he'd worked. So he was down last night. But these are 3 huge outs available tonight. The 1-1 hit high in the air to right field and deep. Taylor going back onto the track. It's gone. Jackson Churio's 2nd home run of the game to the opposite field has tied it up. It's the Brewers 3 and the Mets 3 as Churio goes deep against Maton.
Hit it off the front facing of the second deck, and this place is electric right now. We talked about how Milwaukee has just evaporated in the first round every year for the last few years, and maybe their new guy, who's not been around for that, could be the one to change it. That's a second big swing from a kid who can't even legally drink yet in the United States, only 20 years old.
20 years old with an 8-year contract under his belt, and after Ryan Stanek had thrown just 11 pitches, getting the side in order in the bottom of the 7th inning, Maton called on in the 8th. And the first batter he faces, just as did Sean Manaea, takes him deep, and in both cases, the hitter was Jackson Churio.
Maton's been so good. I mean, this decision here, it's an easy one for Carlos Mendoza, who's always shown that if you're hot, he's going to play you. That's why he had Stanek pitching in the 7th inning. Maton was red hot. Churio was better on 1 swing.
Well, that pretty well assures the Mets are going to see Devin Williams when this game goes to the 9th inning, whether the Brewers take the lead or not. Tied at 3, the crowd is standing. Here's Blake Perkins, shows bunt, pulls back, takes high, ball 1. So Maton now, having given up the home run, has got to settle down. Perkins, a fast man. The 1-0 pitch, in for a called strike, the fastball, the cutter. And it's 1-1. This is the loudest by far we have heard the Brewers fans these first 2 games. The 1-1. Swinging a liner to shallow right. It's going to fall in front of Taylor for a base hit. And the go-ahead man is on. Perkins holds on at first. And so with nobody out, William Contreras and Willie Adames, couple of big RBI guys, couple of guys who strike out a lot, will be the batters.
Haven't seen anybody get up in that bullpen for the Mets out in right field. That is 2 stingers. The Churio homer, the Perkins bullet single to right. Mets aren't getting anybody up quite yet.
Contreras 1 out of 3. Right-hand hitter, the first pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike, 0-1. I would not expect them to be bunting their 3-hitter here, perhaps trying to draw Iglesias in another step or 2 from third, but you got to think that Pat Murphy wants Contreras to swing the bat. He's got extra base power. 0-1. Quick throw to first. Perkins dives back in, so that's 1 disengagement now, spent by Phil Maton. Willie Adames flexing his legs, and something close to the on-deck circle, but he's up on the grass trying to get a good look at Maton. Maton continues to stare over his shoulder at the runner Perkins at first. Now the pitch. Breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Missed badly there with a curve. Brewers have now out-hit the Mets 9-8. They have fought back from what was a 3-1 Mets lead to tie. Maton to the belt. 1-1 to Contreras. Swinging a slow hit bouncer over and into the Mets dugout on the third base side. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See if they get Perkins moving here with 2 strikes on the hitter. Again, they love to use their speed, put the pressure on. Try to avoid the ground ball. That's one thing. They avoid the double play, but they would love to get Perkins moving at all towards second.
Contreras strikes out a ton. A 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to short, should be 2. Lindor shovels to second, 1. Acuna to first, double play. And a big one. 6-4-3. Just like that. 2 out, nobody on. It'll quiet the crowd, you would imagine, and Willie Adames will be next.
Perkins was not moving really that entire at bat, and when he got the 2 strikes, again, you thought for the speed, for the elimination of the ground ball double play, well, worked right into the Mets' hands there.
So a good comeback by Maton. Now it's Adames, 0 for 3. Mets 3, Brewers 3, 2 out, nobody on, bottom 8. First pitch, swing and a miss. A huge cut at a cutter, and it's 0-1. Willie Adames hit 32 homers, drove in 112 runs during the regular season. 2 out, nobody on, tied in the 8th, the 0-1. Swing and a foul, straight back out of play into the third deck. And so Maton now, having recovered nicely to this point after the homer and single, is ahead of the count 0-2. Iglesias is deep at third. He's really close to the line, protecting against the extra base hit. Alonso off the line at first, now drops back another step. Middle infield is at the edge of the outfield grass. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs with a fastball. And it's 1-2. Garrett Mitchell is on deck. That's the designated hitter's spot. Here's the 1-2. And a bouncing ball foul down the third baseline. And so it remains a ball and 2 strikes to Adames, who, could conceivably be making his last plate appearance, depending on how this shakes out, as a Milwaukee Brewer. 1-2 the count. Maton to the belt now, the pitch. Slow hit bounder foul over by the Mets dugout. Now, it's only the 8th inning with the game tied, but if you're wondering, the regular season rules with the free runner do not exist in the postseason.
A lot of people just went, thank you for saying that.
1-2 to Adames. Maton deals. Swinging a liner toward short, past the outstretched glove of Lindor. A base hit into left field. Nemo up with it, plays it in, and Adames is aboard with a 2-out single. Left-hand hitter, Garrett Mitchell, will be next.
Mets bullpen still quiet out there, and the big shot, the Churio shot off Maton to tie the game. So far it, and here comes Jeremy Hefner, though. See if the Mets can just have Maton get out of this 8th inning, regroup, tie game going to the 9th. But as I say that, Adam Ottavino is grabbing a baseball to hit the bullpen mound and start warming up.
Well, Maton has faced 4 batters and allowed hits to 3 of them. That's how big that double play grounder was that he got from Contreras.
Surprised it's taken a while to get somebody up at all, but Ottavino, the veteran, knows his body. If they called for him a batter or 2 ago, he only needs a little bit of time to get ready to come in.
So now Jeremy Hefner on his way back to the dugout. And now it will be Garrett Mitchell, another of those outstanding, athletic, young Milwaukee Brewers. 4 years ago, he was their first-round pick, 20th overall out of UCLA. Left-hand batter, he's got power. Adames at first, 2 out, 3-3, bottom 8. First pitch, breaking ball hit high in the air, pretty deep to right center. Back towards the gap, it is off the top of the fence, and it is gone, a home run. A 2-run homer for Garrett Mitchell, and the Brewers have gone in front 5-3. And it is absolute pandemonium here at American Family Field, in particular in the Milwaukee dugout. About a half a dozen players come out to greet Mitchell. And just like that, the Brewers, against Phil Maton, have come up with a 3-run 8th inning to go up 5-3.
Whenever Tyrone Taylor turns and sprints toward the wall, it's never a good sign.
Here is Rhys Hoskins, the first pitch. In for a called strike, 0-1.
That hit the top of the wall and went over. Out in right center to the left of the Mets bullpen. Hit the top of the wall and bounced to the elevated surface above.
The 0-1 to Hoskins, a breaking ball low. 1-1. And how drastically does this change the equation? Well, the outstanding closer of the Brewers, Devin Williams, getting ready. He'll have the top of the Mets order. The 1-1 on the way, a little pop-up near first. Alonso waiting on it, makes the catch in foul ground. and that retires the side, but a stunning 8th inning from the Milwaukee Brewers as they score 3 runs on 4 hits, including 2 home runs, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 8, it's the Brewers 5, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
New York Community Bank is now Flagstar Bank. We're the same friendly faces, same great service, and same local branches. Only now we have an all-new name, all-new look, and even more banking solutions. Flagstar Bank. Let's align the stars. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Rev up the fun with the Honda Civic and HR-V. These vehicles redefine the game when it comes to performance and style. With sporty designs matched by powerful performance, the Civic and HR-V deliver a driving experience like no other. But what really sets these cars apart from the crowd is the spirit of determination that inspires everything we do. That's why we're KBB.com's best value brand of 2024.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
Based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelly Blue Book, visit kbb.com for more information.
Jelly Roll, the Beautifully Broken Tour. October 7th, UBS Arena. With Warren Zeiders and Alexandra Kay. Jelly Roll, live, on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit JellyRoll615.com.
The College of New Jersey offers a top-notch education at a public college price point. That's higher education elevated. Learn more at tcnj.edu.
The family of Casamigos tequilas, Añejo, Blanco, Cristalino, Reposado, Mezcal, and now introducing the new Casamigos Jalapeno. Casamigos tequila, brought to you by those who drink it and love it. Remind you to enjoy today's game responsibly.
We go to the 9th inning. The Milwaukee Brewers with 3 in the bottom of the 8th. A pair of home runs. Churio and the big one from Garrett Mitchell, the 2-run homer to break the 3-3 tie, have gone in front 5-3. Brewers 5, Mets 3, and now the Mets will have to face Devin Williams, the Milwaukee closer. Don't forget, stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets postgame show. Verizon, the network New York City relies on. Well, one thing the Mets have proven lately, and in fact most of this year, is that they can take a punch and return fire. They'll have to do that here in the 9th inning. The top of their order, Francisco Lindor, Jose Iglesias, and notably because of the defensive change, Luis Angel Acuna due up. So Williams, the righty, deals. Lindor takes a breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1. Actually, that was a changeup from Williams, who missed 104 games with a stress fracture in his back, but pitched to a 1.25 ERA, 14 saves, and 15 chances. The 0-1 swing and a miss at a fastball. So he starts him with a change, then comes back with 95, and quickly it is 0-2 to Lindor.
Well, people talk about Devin Williams' changeup being one of the best, if not the best changeup in baseball.
He is ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Sets at the letters. The pitch to Lindor. Swinging a high pop-up, might be playable behind the plate. Looks to be. Contreras, the catcher on the grass, makes the 2-hand catch. 1 man out as Lindor is fouled out. The scoreboard update brought to you by Ready Refresh, New York's most reliable water delivery service. The Padres lead the Braves 5-2, bottom of the 5th inning in San Diego. Max Fried lasted just 2 innings for the Braves, giving up 8 hits and 5 runs. Tigers eliminated the Astros 5-2. Royals did the same to the Orioles 2-1. Here's Iglesias. First pitch. Swinging a high pop fly, right field, easy for Frelick. Makes the 1-hand catch. And Devin Williams, just like that, on just 4 pitches, has recorded 2 outs. Will the Mets let Acuna hit here? Nope, looks like Jesse Winker is going to bat for him.
Now you're down to no options left, even though they'll have to get creative on the infield. Mets don't care about how they work it. They just need to get it there. They need Winker to get on base. And obviously a crowd that loves him.
Well, he was hurt when he played here last year, was ineffective. And as you know, Jesse, I suppose you could say, is an acquired taste. Rather loquacious. He's very personable. Sometimes the personality doesn't sync up with yours. And that took place when he was with the Cincinnati Reds and playfully had some exchanges with Mets fans. You know that story, but now he's the last hope for the Mets tonight. Williams ready. The first pitch to the left-hand batter. Misses low. Change up. And the count 1-0. Jesse Winker last night tripled in 2 runs. His first at-bat, he was 1 for 2. The 1-0 on the inside corner. The change up again. And the count 1-1 now on Winker. He is just 4 for his last 44, including that 3-base hit. He's been bothered by a stiff back. 1-1 the count. Williams deals, swing and a miss at a fastball. And now the Mets down to their last strike. And this crowd, if not a sellout, well, it's very, very close to it. Just about all on their feet, waving the yellow towels. Winker has taken his time. Outside the batter's box. Now climbs back in. Shrugs his shoulders to get comfortable. Williams bends in. Brings the hands together. Here's the 1-2 to Winker. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Jesse was on that fastball, a 97-mile-an-hour heater, but fouled it back to the screen.
Heaters are going up, changeups are going down. Just a matter of picking the right one. The reason Williams' changeup is so good is because out of the hand and on the way in, you think it's a fastball. And that thing just sorcers and whips down to the ground. Very tough to pick up.
1-2 the count. Williams sets. The crowd howls. Winker waits. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Jesse just trying to fight his way on here. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Brandon Nimmo, who has power, of course, is on deck. If Winker can find his way on, Nimmo will be the tying man. 2-2 the count. Williams ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, deep left center on the run. Churio, he's there, makes the catch. The Brewers have won the ball game. They even the series, staying alive, and there will be a third and deciding game tomorrow here at American Family Field as the Brewers come back with 3 in the 8th inning to beat the Mets and even the series. In the 9th inning for New York, nothing across. The final score, the Milwaukee Brewers 5 and the New York Mets 3. Back to talk about it in a moment on Odyssey. Mets Radio, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work